All right, look, guys, we're live. Episode 60, Made in Dreams podcast. I am your host, Mighty Vicious. I am a little hot under the collar because everything broke on me 20 minutes before the show, and we just got it up. Sorry for being late. It is my fault. Here, as always, with Jamie James the Infinite and everybody else. You know what? Acert. Everybody, start with Acert. Say who you are. Say who you are.
My name is Acert.
Nice.
That's all you need. That's all you need. Seriously,
Good.
hey,
No,
Good.
when you say Acer, that's it. People know that it's quality.
I'd say the people who are watching right now know, but maybe the people who are watching this podcast after the fact don't. So I stream dreams. I make YouTube videos on dreams. I make games on dreams, and outside of dreams. That's about it. I don't know. Go to other people, please.
Okay. Next, whoever speaks,
Hate talking about
introduce.
Yes, coming to you live from the future, as you can see with my funky backdrop here. I make games and dreams, make assets. Kind of obsessed with dreams at the moment, and yeah, here to talk about dreams.
Fantastic. And anybody who is in the chat currently, if sound is off, let me know because I had to put this all together a different way this week. So to make it work. So just let me know if you're having trouble hearing anyone and I'll go ahead and up their volume. Sound is good so far. Thank you, Gizmo. Next, who wants to come in?
Hi, I'm Ollie T or Olit. I don't mind. Say it however you want to say it. I've been part of the Dreams community for a while. I do make games, but I haven't released one this year, but hopefully release one soon.
All right. And next?
Hello, I'm Charlie the Weeb. I'm working on a series concept with the help of Dreams, and I also do kind of side projects as well. Like I did one for, basically it was like a poster of like the Dreamverse community into one, like kind of Avengers looking style poster. And
So,
yeah,
saw
I
that.
really liked it.
It's good. It was real good.
Very good.
So, with that, let's get started. You know, I was in such a good mood. I really was. I had put together this whole thing. I was like, I'm going to start with this new segment. It's, you know what? We're getting right into the nasty. And the nasty is, let's talk about Kickstarter. Because I promised people we would do this roundtable, and I heard from a bunch of people who weren't happy with things I've said. And some people were just confused as to what my stance was. So what I want to do for starters is give everyone a chance to say what their base stance is, and then we'll discuss. And hopefully we'll have more people join. I was hoping that we'd have someone from Splatties or Noguchi come on and, talk about it with us. But we'll see, because the invitation's open. Anybody who wants to join, you can join. So I'll start with me, because, yeah, I'm probably going to be the most long-winded for now. Yeah, it's like, despite the general consensus, I'm actually like case by case. And like, opposed to what a lot of people thought after what we spoke about, I'm not anti Noguchi's Bell or anti Splatty's Adventure. I don't have any real like problems with what anyone does. Like, you do what you do. But I have an opinion on how I would have promoted each project, whether on Kickstarter or not. So like, these opinions don't make me right or some smiting deity of dreams looking down on other people. It's just what it is. So being that a few people got confused by what my stance was, I'm gonna, like, I feel like people got confused about my stance because I was trying not to step on toes, because what I wanted, like what I didn't want to happen, happened. People thought I was like literally sniping at people. And that's not what I want to do. Like, they're just an assessment of monetization and faults that could happen through different venues. So I feel like I must remind people of the inherent dangers that exist within platforms like Kickstarter. And that was my only point. Like, if for no other reason than the idea that a scandal smearing Dream's name at this current juncture would be devastating for Dreams. Like, anything that can make money immediately brings in the possibility of disingenuous users. That's just what money does. So, to sum it all up, give you my straight and narrow, my thoughts are, if it's a game, use Patreon. It's not as flashy as Kickstarter, but it does allow you to slowly build up your marketing and create a base network of supporters that builds and spreads over time. Like, monetarily. Building a Patreon doesn't guarantee instant money. It's hard work, it's promotion, it's content curation within its own right, but it's purely honest and worth the grind. If it's something that can exist outside of Dreams, animation, film, storytelling mediums, without exportation being a baked-in feature in Dreams, go for whatever you see fit. That's my opinion. I am super excited to hear opposite opinions. We are here to just talk. Not like, I'm not preaching at anyone.
Does anyone here disagree with that? Because I know Jamie, I know your stance is the same for the most part.
It
You
is.
three, though.
Yeah, I disagree with that.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Awesome.
I'd like to hear that.
Awesome.
I go farther actually than at least
Ooh,
Mighty.
all right.
A little bit, just a little bit. But maybe not based on just what you said. But I want to hear the disagreement.
So I like Kickstarter because I like the all or nothing sort of funding type. I mean, Patreon's good as well, but I've subscribed to a Dreamers Patreon. I won't mention who it was, but it just kind of like fizzled out after a while, and I quite like the sort of like all or nothing sort of approach that Kickstarter has. Scandals are, they're always like a worry. I kind of understand that, but with the two games that we've had on Kickstarter so far, like Splatties and the
Dream
current
Central.
one with Dream Central, yep. They've been around for a while. Like, the people behind them have been around like since the beta with Dreams, and I feel like they've sort of proved themselves in a way. If just sort of like a random person turned up and that hadn't really done a thing, I'd be a bit more skeptical. But because sort of like Splatties and Dream Central, they have stuff to show already. For me, like I decided to back those projects, and I thought it was a good idea.
Nice. What's stopping the Kickstarters from fizzling out after they succeed in their goal?
Yeah,
Nothing.
nothing.
Not a
But
contract.
I mean,
It's not like
yeah, there's no contract. I mean, that's the risk that you take on with Kickstarter, I suppose. But you
there's no risk
take
with
that
pay.
risk
You can
now.
just Patreon. It's Patreon, right? Yeah, Patreon.
Yeah.
Just stop paying. Just shut it off. Obviously, you lose the money you gave them already, but I don't know.
I mean, I get your point, and I see where you're going with it, but my stance is that putting a project on Kickstarter that's exclusively a game, like Mike, you said, I completely agree. If it's film or whatever else, that's absolutely fine because that can be taken outside of Dreams and be sold as a commercialized product. So that's completely fine. Like if you Noguchi's Bell, for instance, they can take that, turn it into a Blu-ray, make a special edition for Kickstarter, whatever. That's completely fine. But my stance on it is with games, I think it's personally wrong to use Kickstarter as a way of funding projects.
That's my stance as well. Yeah,
It's
that is. Yep.
it's tied to a platform that requires a PlayStation console and a copy of the thing that you're making it on for them to use it. So, and there is some of these projects where they're not even specifying that it requires a PlayStation and a copy of Dreams to use it. So someone could donate $100 to a project and then not realize, oh wait, I need a whole console and a copy of the thing that they're making it on to even see what they've created, which in turn is released for free anyway. So I don't know. I don't like the idea of the amount of money people are asking for these games to be built on Dreams. It just doesn't fit to me personally what Dreams is all about.
100% agree.
Mhm.
But we have the exact same stance,
I think
which is slightly larger than Mighty's, or farther, in my opinion.
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
It's
do you
just I'm not going to
agree, or-
presume. I'm not going to presume to, and this is what I think people didn't understand before is I'm not going to presume to tell people what to do with their damn lives. Like that's it. Like for
Yeah, I
me,
I agree with
it's
that.
like
it's up to
all I
them.
can do, all I
But I
can
don't
do
agree with
is
it.
say my opinion,
Exactly. Yeah.
and then what who the hell am
No,
I?
I mean,
Like
yeah, I can't stop them from doing it, but that isn't going to
You
take
know.
away my right to voice my opinion on
Oh,
what
yeah.
they're
Right.
doing.
Right.
Yeah, as a member of the community, I have as right as they do to put it on Kickstarter. I have a right to argue against it. It's just healthy to have a dispute to find out what medium is best for the projects and for Dreams in general. Like if we don't have these conversations, we'll never find the perfect fit until an official monetization program comes out for Dreams. Unless we talk about this, we're not going to find a solution for it. And people agree with it, people don't, and that's why you need to have these conversations.
Yeah. Like go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah. So I kind of agree to a degree with what you're saying about the fact that Dreams is self-contained makes the idea of a Kickstarter project a difficult one to swallow. From a point of view that you can't actually deliver something that is an external product. With it, you're confined to at the moment this piece of software. I think the bigger question has to be around the fact that people are making these big games in Dreams. They're spending a lot of time and a lot of effort doing them. There needs to be, for Dreams, personally, I feel for Dreams' future to be rosy and successful, they've got no choice but to give us
Yeah,
these
no,
extra options.
yeah.
And with that, you have to then be able to attempt to monetize the projects that the work has gone into. Stuff like Splatty's Adventure and Dream Central, like Ollie says, they've been around for a good few years. They're very early in Dream's sort of life cycle. They were started and they've been working ridiculously hard on them, in small teams, and they're not getting paid for it. They're still having to do their own thing, and that's fine because you can sort of say, right, Dreams is a hobby, but somebody that's making a game using something like Unreal, they automatically are able to just go, well, let's do a Kickstarter and see what happens, and people will just accept that, even if
Right,
they're
and
not
rightly
necessarily putting
so.
in the same level of
Yeah,
effort necessarily that,
but they're
someone put into their Dreams
but they're
Dreams
right,
project.
but they're rightly so to accept that because they have the ability to solely complete this product on its own. Like Dreams is Dreams, no matter which way you look at it. You can't take it out at the moment. So
Yeah.
my answer to people like Splatted Adventure and people like Dream Central, and again, nothing against the guys that are building these projects at all. They're fantastic projects. But
Mm.
if you really want to monetize right now, then you're going to have to move to another program that offers that solution already for you.
You do not have to. You should. We
Yeah,
think you
no,
should.
no,
You do
like
not
you don't
have to.
have to, but I think that is morally the best way to do it. Like
Agreed.
if you want to make a huge game and you want this huge Kickstarter, then I would say personally, well, if that's what you want to do, I would suggest for you to move to a different platform where you have all of those options available to you.
But
Right now,
you'd have to start from scratch again. All that work that you've put into this Dreams project would be down the drain
So
because nothing can be
So if
exported,
you don't,
I
nothing
hear
can be
you. I hear
reused.
you, but hold on. So I have personal experience with this. Making a game that you've made in Dreams outside of Dreams. Sorry, making a game outside of Dreams that you've already made in Dreams. You are not starting from scratch. It was like I was copying a game after when I was making it in Godot. I knew everything I was planning on doing. Obviously, I added more stuff, but it was it was nice. It was literally like
Mm.
I was copying. I had it right there. I put all the work in Dreams, like the game design work and the thinking. I just had to like make it. It it was it is not down the drain. Of course, all the hours sculpting and animating and shit that does not transfer. The music, the voice lines, the sound effects do transfer, but I agree with you there. But it is not all down the drain.
There's something
Take my
like
word for it.
Splatty. But I
Yes,
see what
so
you're
I
saying
hear you
there.
there. With
But
Splatty, yeah, you're right.
the game that you made, with all due respect, there, it
It is
wasn't
visually, yeah. The art was
complex
simple. Yeah,
visually.
yeah, you're right. You're right.
Whereas Dream Central and Splatties have got, hundreds, thousands of different assets that have been
It's true.
created specifically for that game that would have to be remade from scratch in, Blender or Maya or whatever you want to use to 3D model in
Completely agree.
to,
Yep.
to fit it into Unity or something. I mean, at the very least, if there was a way to export stuff that you'd sculpted in Dreams,
Don't get me started. Please.
then at least then you might think,
Um,
okay, yeah, so we can export all of our assets, and then we just have to learn, Unity or Unreal or whatever to make the game itself. But we got all the assets that we've spent thousands of hours, because it does take that long to make all the assets. If you're making everything for your game, you're talking that kind of time scale.
I wish you weren't right, but you
Yeah,
are
it was a
100%
more
right for
palatable
now.
option, I think.
Once we can export assets, it's going to be a whole different thing.
Let me ask, because I feel like I get the idea of all this work has gone into it. Like, you've built the game, and the idea that you'd have to start back over artistically from scratch, programming wise from scratch, which still from what I've seen, it can transfer. Like, you don't lose the knowledge of how you did it, and you just have to figure out how. But I do believe that you're correct, ATH, that like they need a way. Like there needs to be a way to monetize. And I don't think anyone, including Media Molecule, disagrees with you on that. But you also got into Dreams knowing that there wasn't a way to monetize.
Exactly.
So with that being the case, and as I said last week on the podcast, I know some people aren't as confident as I am, but it's coming. Like, it is going to be a thing. So it becomes less of a, do I want to lose everything and start over, or do I have the patience to wait for it? And that's the decision that I believe is to be made. It's not necessarily, do I want to lose everything and start over? It's, can I just wait and literally flesh out and perfect this thing that I'm making in Dreams? Or do I need to absolutely monetize right now? If you do need to absolutely monetize right now, then the decision's made for you. But I'm happy to see anyone trying to do, like I said, this is where it gets confusing because of my stance. Like, someone trying to get paid for their art is not wrong. Like, someone trying to, like, saying, I put in a F ton of work, I think that this can be monetized. Yeah. I mean, that's the natural thought process of anyone working on anything that they put a ton of time into. But I do believe there are prerequisites that have to, that kind of deflate the argument of, like, I don't know, like, it's literally just, you knew it wasn't monetizable when you got in. And with the idea that it will be in the future, that's the thing that you need to decide. Like I said, if you need to monetize right now, then yeah, like, you got to go outside of Dreams or face blowback if people don't agree with how you're trying to monetize. And when it comes down to it, like I said, with my opinion, F those people. Who are they? Like, like everybody's gonna have an opinion. It doesn't matter whether you want them to or not, or if they agree with you or anything. Which is why I said I wanted to make sure that the conversation today stayed cordial, because no one is right. You just, and if anyone thinks they are, I'm sorry, you're wrong. Nobody's right, because what you choose to do is what you choose to do. You have the free will, the right, as Jamie was saying, the right to agree with the stances, the right to disagree, to have your own opinions. I just want everybody to, like, I think it's just, like you said, important for the community to hear every side of it. Because I wonder if some of the people who did Kickstarters, if they heard this conversation beforehand, would it have changed their minds? Like, would they have gone about it differently? Would they have tried to put in the time and work to build a community on Patreon, as opposed to going for an all or nothing Kickstarter? Would some of them have been like, yo, Kickstarter has been dirty in the past and had to spent the last 3.5 years rebuilding their brand. Maybe I'll go Indiegogo, where I can get a little money now, and then maybe I can just run subsequent, things, to like subsequent little drives to, up the money. I don't know. But that's why I think it's important, and it's important that people understand that nobody is right. Like,
what is Indiegogo? I know what it is, but like, how does that work?
It's basically
different?
Kickstarter, except you don't have to complete your goal.
Is that it? Like, that's the whole thing?
Yeah,
like, literally that's the only difference. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's like,
just
if
a continual build up of funds over time,
yeah,
to help with a project.
So if you wanted to, let's say you put up something and you were like, I want 15,000. Well, if you only get 5, you still get to keep 5. Like, that's it. And it's just like, yeah, it still has the same faults as Kickstarter, because you get some wild Indiegogos out here. People be doing some crazy stuff out here. But like I said, my biggest thing with my thoughts on Kickstarter is just the idea of how does it affect the community, and what, like, there's no fault in having or trying to foresee what the worst outcome could be, because people don't disappoint when it comes to the worst outcome.
There is a ripple effect that comes with it, though. Like, my concern is this going to become a trend? Like, is everybody that is on a major scale project in Dreams just going to suddenly say, hey, we're either going to go Kickstarter, and if we fail to get our goal, then the project's cancelled? Like, that's my worry. Is this like the way of thinking that dreamers are going to move forward to? I mean, up to now we've only seen 3 Kickstarters, but that could change any day. We could see 7 or 8. And
I wouldn't consider Noguchi's Bell a Dreams Kickstarter. I know it was made in Dreams, but it's a movie. Like, it's not a Dreams game. Every game in Dreams Kickstarter has failed so far. I would not classify Noguchi's Bell in the same category at all, honestly. I don't know.
Wouldn't either. Noguchi's Bell was special because, as you say, you can export it out.
You can
Everyone
export
can see it.
straight up.
And basically, Noguchi's Bell, I'm kind of surprised that when they did that Kickstarter, that they didn't get more interest from, like Netflix and stuff. Because let's be honest, the quality of what they're making and the ambition is suited for, somebody of that level to pick it up, as an actual series. It doesn't really matter whether it's built in Dreams or not. That's obviously good for Dreams, but the time and effort and quality and the storytelling of it is such a high standard that if they can maintain that for 16 episodes or whatever it is that they're planning, you kind of feel, well, why wouldn't someone give them, you see the crap that you end up getting on stuff like Netflix and stuff that gets commissioned, and millions of pounds get thrown towards it, and it's a piece of shit. And then you see something like that and you think, well, why has nobody actually gone and, yeah, this is amazing, make us a full series? And I kind of felt that, who was it? I think it might have been you, James, that was saying, or maybe it was someone else, but somebody was saying about how, it was Kataya. He was saying that, we looked at Noguchi's Bell as being a success, and from a Dreams point of view, it was, because it was the first thing that reached its goal. But if you looked at the loftier goals of it, they wanted to get 500,000 funding for the full 16 episodes, and they only actually got enough funding for what they said would cover one, which actually, if you look at the cost of production in the real world, was about right. I mean, a cost of an animated TV show is far more than £30,000 per episode. So the fact that
You know that, like, actually,
they
because
got
I
that,
have no idea. I'm curious if
yeah,
you like actually know that.
Yeah,
It's more like
it definitely
cost of,
million
tracks.
or something, right?
It definitely
yeah,
tracks.
the cost of an animated episode is at least 500,000 to $1 million
Yeah.
per episode.
Well,
When you
that's a little
take
more
into
than 30K. Oh man, okay.
Right. So when you take into account, all of the animation, all of the work that goes into an animated show, then 30,000 for one episode, or even 500,000 for 16 episodes is
Insanely cheap.
chicken change.
Yeah, but
I
they're
think,
completely unproved. Like no one knows them. They have no prior work.
This was
Like,
going to be
yeah,
my
but you
point.
see this all the time. The
You know?
unproven, it's like somebody makes a short movie and then they suddenly get, oh, there we go, you can have your directorial debut, or you can have helm this TV show or something. It happens all the time in the TV and film industry, where somebody does something that catches the
To
eye of somebody
to a
with the money, and then
degree,
they get given the gig.
I
yeah,
mean,
but
I guess this show didn't catch their eye. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
yeah, but
No.
what
It
you're
wasn't good
talking-
enough.
What
I
you're
don't.
talking about is making a proof of concept and then taking it to the higher ups, the big cheeses with all the money, to
Right.
say, right now they
Mhm.
can see the potential in it. But to ask for $500,000 for a group of people that have, like Asa said, no
It made an
prior,
episode.
yeah,
Right.
they had no prior awards or anything to
Right.
justify asking for that. For me personally, even though I agree that it's absolutely fine, in my opinion, for them to do a Kickstarter for that type of project, because again, it can be exported, but to still ask for $500,000 of a community that is quite small for something like that was a very big ask. Like,
Mhm.
to me, it was like, well,
Ambitious.
yeah,
Maybe they shouldn't.
okay.
Maybe you're right. Then maybe they shouldn't have gone. Maybe they should have gone different avenues. Maybe they should have actually tried to shop it around a bit and try and, I don't know, get someone to pay them to make it for a network, or
See,
for something like Netflix, because
see, I feel like
that's ambitious.
I feel like that's and I don't know. So this is
I don't
once
know
again
either.
me looking at what I'm seeing, what they laid out in the Kickstarter. See, to me, it seems like that's what they are doing. And that's where my opinion got once again muddy, because I kind of agree with James, but it's like if you had made like a short film for Noguchi's Bell, and that short film encapsulated what your thing is, like
Short film, more than an episode.
yeah, a
More-
short
yeah,
film
yeah.
and not a pilot, then that
Sure.
would be like, because ultimately I don't think they intend to literally just go for. I don't think they want to go for $500,000. I honestly don't. I think they want to get picked up before then, and then move into making it, a production company, or, Sony or somebody, DreamWorks. They can go and get that real money to then make it, and so I don't know. Like it's just like if that's the case, then my way of thinking of it was, okay, well then instead of taking that 32 for one episode, take that 32 for your pitch material.
Yeah.
And then
Sure.
take that pitch material and shop it.
Absolutely.
And
What was episode one? Was episode one not
Yeah.
the thing
Oh.
that was,
It was the pilot, right?
this is
It was the first
well,
episode.
yeah, it's the pilot, but I
Yeah.
mean, you talk about the difference between a pilot and a short film, right? But
well, because the
how
thing
do
is,
in the TV world, you get a pilot and then it gets picked up for a full series off the back of the
Sure.
pilot's.
yeah,
They're
Right.
unknown. So like,
Yeah, but so are lots of people in the
they need
industry
to.
when they make
I
pilots, right?
think they need a little more. I think the short film into a full series, like do the short film for free and then and then try to do a Kickstarter for the full series. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea.
I mean,
Hindsight. But
see, the thing is like I said, I'm not telling them what they should have done. I'm saying what I think of doing, looking at the same project. So
I'm saying I think they should have done that. I don't know.
okay. Yeah, I mean,
mean,
like I said, it's just
in hindsight.
I'm not going to tell people what they should and shouldn't do. That's just me, because I
That's
know
what I
how
think they should have
I
done.
know
they
how
can do
anno-
whatever they want. I don't
Yeah.
know.
And so the thing is, there is a difference between a pilot and a short film. There just is. If you if you want to talk about that,
Right.
I'm that guy.
I
Like,
mean, to
I'll
me,
have that
like,
conversation.
I am
a,
not.
sh-
I love
a short
movies.
film, like a short film, gives you the premise of everything in one quick burst. So you've got your beginning, your middle, and your end. You've got a great idea of the story arc. Yes, there is plenty of room to stretch it and make it more detailed and add more lore. But with a short film, you're giving the presentation of this is what I want to make in a much shorter version. Whereas with a pilot is just a pilot. You have no idea where the story's going. You don't know half of the characters because there's been no progression because it's just a pilot episode. So I would agree a short film would have been a much better way of doing it because then at
So
least
I misunderstood. I misunderstood because when you said short film, I was thinking you were meant like in terms of the medium of short film and the idea of pilot. I didn't realize you were saying that Noguchi's Bell should have condensed the 16 episodes into a short film to show the whole thing. I thought you were talking about just short films, like when someone makes a 10-minute festival film and then off the back of that they get picked up as like, oh, you're known now, make something else. I didn't realize you meant that make a short film with Noguchi. So that was my bad. I misunderstood.
It'd be
when
like
you
a
were- what you
prequel
were
of it
saying.
or something if they don't want to spoil the episodes. I
Right,
don't know.
yeah, okay. No, that makes more sense now what you were saying, because when initially I just thought you meant like short films.
Yeah,
like
it's
the
important
kind
to
of
like
popcorn
define the
kind.
terminology because I personally have no idea what you guys are talking about, but I pretend like I do. I don't know, and I'm sure someone in chat is also just as confused. Like when I hear short film, I think like hour or two, just like I don't even know. I was thinking like hour, 2 hours.
It's a
That's probably
90-minute
not even that
film.
long.
That's a short
that's,
film.
that's feature
Feature,
length.
Yeah, that is a
that's a long
feature.
film. So what the hell am I
These
thinking?
days, films are actually nearly 3 hours long. So
It's like, look, it's
all the
something that
Marvels
could
and
be
stuff.
on a TV and maybe at a theater. That's a short, it's a short film. But I do want to go into chat before it gets too carried away here. Because Entropy Tamed it said, I think the issue with a dream game is you cannot deliver anything. You can talk about redemption codes or adding X, Y, or Z, but at the end of the day, it's something that will be in dreams for everyone with dreams.
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
I like
yeah,
that.
yeah. I think that is the oh boy, we got the heavy boys coming out today.
Camera or kick?
Yeah, camera
Oh
or
wait, no,
kick.
you do face cam now. You do face cam now. Yeah.
Elka has something
It's
to
a,
say.
and
Hey.
I'm glad.
Sorry,
that,
I'm late.
Hey,
Sorry,
hey,
I'm late.
hey, it's all good.
Unforgivable, but it's fine.
It's all good. Red Sakatsu says this topic is actually important to me right now as I'm thinking of the future of Red. Bravo on that, by the way. Inch Be Tamed monetization is a valid want and an unrealistic expectation right now. Entropy, if you do want to jump in, anybody can jump in. If you're in our Discord, do just like Elka and just come on in. It does.
I will,
Yeah,
I will post a link into chat so everybody can join.
As I told everyone before this, and when we proposed the roundtable, I'm not here to form a circle of yes men. Okay, I actually do want to hear from people because I enjoy talking to people, hearing different sides. Like, I love how fervent ATH is about this. Like, I like that he and Olit are actually like completely on the other side. It makes it interesting. But as the newcomer coming in, well, hold on. I'm gonna get to you one.
Completely on the other side, because I do agree when you said about at the moment the game it's not right to do it for a game because there's no way to deliver it. But when we talk about something like Noguchi's Bell, then I think it's very different. I think that's where
and that's why I started out with my breakdown, because I believe if it can be exported, free game, do whatever you want. Like then it becomes outside issues. It has nothing more to do with dreams. It's once you're bringing it out, then it has to do with, well, like I said, looking at the full picture. Anybody who wants to go to Kickstarter, go to Kickstarter. It doesn't matter what anyone says. Go,
disagree.
no. Hold on. You aren't here for the original breakdown. There are caveats to what I just said, but the thing is that I feel it. Actually, that made me lose my point.
He's saying
okay.
that we can't stop people from doing.
Yeah,
what
I'm
they
just
want
saying
to
you
do.
can't stop people from doing what they want, and
We just highly recommend.
yeah, I just feel like
to,
when it comes down to it, people there are things that you need to think about when it comes to using outside sources. It's and what that brings back into Dreams. Kickstarter had quite a few years there of almost losing it, almost not being a thing because of all of the scandals that are going on around that. But like I said, that stuff once money comes into it, you're gonna get some people. You're gonna get some things that are gonna be shady, and that's
a good point. Dreams Kickstarter scams.
Yeah,
That's it.
I mean,
Oh man.
I mean, I don't know if you're serious right now or not.
I don't know.
but that's what I'm like. That's all. That's what people were mistaking. Like, I'm not telling anybody that Splatty's Adventure or Noguchi's Bell or any of that is a scam. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the moment money becomes part of something. I mean, just look. I'll get back to this later. But look at Roblox. And look at all the heat Roblox just caught. That's what I don't want to make it back into Dreams, because this community is better than that. And it must be coveted, in my opinion. That's me. But now, like I said, Elka, you're coming in. Tell me, what is your stance on Kickstarter?
Okay, so I missed the first part of the stream, so excuse me if I repeat anything that is already said, or like if you pedal back, basically. But I hardly disagree that you should start a Kickstarter for a game, as you said. You have to get into the heads of the creators. You want to get paid for your work that you put into your creation, right? Why would you choose a service where the likelihood that you get that money is so low, especially if you ask for that much money? And what you can get for, if you hit that goal, you ask for like, I don't know, 20K, and you have like, I don't know, 5 team members. How much do you pay your team members for that? And is this like a one-off chance to pay your team for that? So like, just start a Patreon, man.
It is literally that simple.
Yeah, I mean that's been our stance. Well, that's the stance that a few of us have shared. That if it's a game then Patreon is the way to build a community, get into marketing your stuff, and slowly grow over time. It's the only thing we put on that as a caveat is that if you're doing something that can be exported out of Dreams, like Noguchi's Bell, then you can do something like a Kickstarter, or we believe that it's good that you do something like a Kickstarter because it's something that can exist outside of Dreams. So
I agree, yeah. So also with Patreon, you can have like rewards to show behind the scenes stuff, or like tutorials how you did stuff, and there's like so much more value behind a Patreon account than to a Kickstarter account. And even you just to YouTube, like I am doing, or stream your stuff, like you get so much more money from all these services, from Patreon, from YouTube, from Twitch, than you could ever reach with Kickstarter that might even fail, and you get literally nothing for it.
Elka, how many people outside of yourself have got that reach to get that kind of level of money? Because every time that you stream on Twitch, for instance, at the same time as Media Molecule, there are at least twice as many people watching your stream as there are watching the official stream of the game that you are currently working on. Now, that's obviously because Avatar is this worldwide phenomenon, and most of the people watching you are watching you because you're making an Avatar game.
They wouldn't be
not
watching
because you're
Media
making a
Molecule.
Demon
It's
Dream.
not, yeah.
But
He's not taking viewers from Media Molecule.
No, exactly, no.
Yeah,
But what I'm saying is
I
that
hear what you're saying.
outside of that, you make it sound very easy. Oh, just start a Patreon because, but you've got, I mean, you did a video that was 100 days. You got 6 million views on YouTube on that video. The only other person that's come close to that involved with Dreams is Bad Robo, who also seems to be doing a lot of the, let's put it on YouTube kind of thing. But most people, doesn't matter how good the stuff is, they're not getting anywhere near that level of exposure and that kind of reach
I
with
disagree
what they're
that
doing.
you said it doesn't matter how good the stuff is. I think
I would disagree. with that
literally the
too.
reason Bad Robo is successful is because his stuff is unbelievable.
Yeah, that's the reason why he gets the
But that's
views
the
he
bar is so high. Like, to be noticed outside of Dreams, you have to be Bad Robo.
Well,
or
forget
Mark
Dreams.
or
To be
it's just-
noticed on the internet in general.
True.
You
Yes,
have
exactly.
to be the best of the best. That's just the way that the world is.
I mean,
Like,
to be
To
noticed.
be recognized on the internet, you
Agree.
either have to be better than everyone else,
Well,
or do something original.
Clickbait. Yeah.
I disagree with
Wait,
that
or what?
statement that
Or
you
what?
have to be the best at something to be noticed on the internet. I mean, how many posts have you
Yeah.
seen that some random person has posted where they're just saying, "Hey, I had a burger today," and 750,000 people have liked
No,
that
you're
and
right. I think
retweeted
they
it? I
meant
mean,
when
what
they
are
say
they
best, I
doing
think
that
they
makes
mean
them
like
the best of the
successful.
best? Yeah,
but
what makes them successful? I don't know. I don't agree. You got to be the best.
Money, I guess. Like
I
those
just
people
think
that make
that
those dumb posts don't make money off that. To be
Yeah.
successful,
yeah, but
anyone can be noticed.
I think I see what you're saying, but also I think that there's a lot of stuff in Dreams. You're saying like, oh, you have to be Bad Robo or whatever, but come on, I mean, there's a lot of stuff
Yeah.
outside of Dreams that is nowhere near as good as the stuff made in Dreams.
That's why I'm saying,
gets
like,
a
for
hell of a
Dreams
lot
people
more
specifically, you
attention.
have to be like amazing. I
Right.
agree
And
with you.
that's
I agree with you.
And that's because of the stigma around Dreams, which stems back to its early days of being a meme making machine.
I'd argue
and
it's
now people haven't
I'd
really
argue it's
evolved.
searchability, right? It's people can't find the stuff because, like, people aren't searching like your Dreams game, the name of your Dreams game. No one's searching that.
Yeah, it really depends on the project you're doing. Like Dream Central, totally wrong approach in my opinion. They basically
Home.
made PlayStation Home,
Right?
right?
Yeah.
Go
Yeah,
so
for
there's
that.
no
Like,
multiplayer
literally
to-
just say
to-
I'm making PS Home.
PlayStation Home has such a huge fan base on
Right?
YouTube, on
Yeah,
Reddit
yeah.
and stuff. They
Crazy.
should share their stuff there, get a fan base first of all, and maybe then start a Kickstarter if they really want to do that.
You should consult them because you are literally the poster child of doing
I
exactly
offered
that.
they actually wrote me a DM. I am not sure how much I can share of that. But I basically said to them I will help them out if they want to do a Patreon account or like need help with something because I like the project, but I don't
Right.
like the Kickstarter approach to it because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
First of all, because Dreams hasn't multiplayer yet, and yeah, it's
That's it. We're not talking about that. Don't even bring that
We're
up.
not going there.
yeah.
The
that's
PS
a whole
Home
nother-
multiplayer game. Oh god.
Oh my god.
I
But
don't want to even talk about
to
that.
expand on that, like with for Elka, obviously it's a lot different because he has that backing of a huge franchise behind him. So I agree with you there, ATH. That it is somewhat easier for someone like Elka to gain that viewership because of the huge franchise fan base that he has behind it. But then to someone making a unique project in Dreams, my thing would be to say, well, up your marketing game. Like show what you're making. Get a TikTok account. Show how you make the game. Do some marketing for it on Twitter. You
Has
gotta
anyone done that successfully? An original game made in Dreams, reaching outside of the Dreams sphere? I'm
Oh.
genuinely curious because I'm
ATH
trying.
has.
I am trying.
ATH has been mentioned on GameSpot for their racing game.
What?
Nice.
No, Push
Nice
Square.
job.
Sorry, Push Square.
Really?
They did a post on your game.
Push Square
Freaking
shares
awesome.
everything.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I would
saw
say
that. I
no.
never even
That's the
knew
first
about
step.
that.
No, legit. Like that's the first step.
I've seen Push Square promote a few games made in Dreams.
I've
Like,
seen them promote a few things. I've never seen one promote our game. That's news to me. But I would say Lock that Pixel Gorilla made. I remember there were a lot of people outside
that's
that were
right.
saying, "Oh,
Lock.
this is a brilliant game, not just a Dreams game, but a brilliant puzzle
say that
game."
First
I
one?
couldn't do it. I couldn't play it because I'm not a puzzle gamer, and I played it and I thought this looks interesting. I have no idea what I'm doing.
I mean, it helped that he won the Impies, but like, can someone
No,
give
but
me a
it
game
was
before that reached
before the
that
Impies.
level?
No, even before that, you won the Impy though. It was getting that kind of. I remember seeing posts
Really?
on Twitter from people that were involved in the gaming industry, and they were just saying like,
I didn't know
Lock's a fantastic game, and it doesn't matter it's made in
Cool.
Dreams. It's a brilliant puzzle game in its own right. And,
Yep.
so
I just
yeah,
feel like
I mean,
I made a full playthrough on it, and the viewership, like, the line was this, and then it was like this after the MP.
Yeah.
So
I'll have to watch that because I think that might
It's
be
my
one of those
best
rare
video,
games that would be more fun to watch than play for me.
yeah,
Because I think if I was playing it, I'd just be like quite frustrated because puzzle games aren't really my thing. But
it was
watching
frustrating.
somebody who kind of knows what they're doing play through it might actually be a good experience. But yeah, I'd say Lock. Frontier. When Frontier came out, it basically blew up for a couple of days and had like Push Square and GameSpot and IGN doing articles on it. The sequel to Tectonic, or the spiritual successor to Tectonic. But yeah,
The
apart
racing
from
game,
that,
right?
yeah, it's
Okay,
the open
okay.
world, and everyone was sort of marveling at how big it was.
I
I
just I
couldn't help
really
but look at it and think it's big, but it's empty because it's so hard to make big open worlds in Dreams because of the limitations. And so, from my point of view, I thought great technical achievement from a Dreams point of view. But for people watching it outside of Dreams, they've probably got a million sort of questions like, well, wait, what?
well,
This kind
I
of
think
looks like a PS1 era game, maybe.
Right.
kind of
I use
That's no slight on
I use
Santa
a
Bros
profile in
and
chat
Doris.
said that Half Up
Lift
won
off.
some indie game award with Sand Gardens, and I just want to
Yeah,
take
I
that,
saw
Yeah.
that.
and I just
Yes,
want
that's
to,
true.
and I just want to curb into that because
We're starting to break
I
through.
I believe it's a little unfair to like to as I don't know how to dispute what Elka said with but how many of us have that reach? When it comes down to it, you have people that aren't in Dreams who are game devs in other things that still don't have that reach. It can't be as cut as and dry as that. It's
Most
like
don't.
yeah, most don't. That's why indie game dev is like a labor of love. It's because
It has to be.
you're making it under the premise that you want people to play, but like when it comes down to it, that's why when I was talking about Patreon, I brought up that you build your community, you build your marketing know-how, and then you can take that and slowly grow it and spread it until you can cause that next thing. Like you can cause it to break out of your community and grow and grow and grow. But I don't know. I sat on it because I was trying to let everyone stop, but I do feel like just being like, well, Elka, you're an exception. Like I feel like I get why you brought it up, but it's not just for Elka. It's everyone. Like if you do art, this is the same problem we all come to. It's not just game dev; it's art in general. If you make music, if you're a painter,
It's anything. It's straight up. It's straight up searchability. Is that the right word? Discoverability.
Discoverability,
Like, people
yeah.
aren't searching your unique art because what do they search? Your name? Like, you have if you base your stuff off of something else, it is just a straight up fact. People will find it easier. You just get an advantage. It's discoverability. Unless your stuff is unbelievable and it goes viral, the people that copy will always have an advantage until the people who make original stuff get well known. But to get well known, it's hard. It's hard.
It all
don't know.
comes down that you share your stuff. Like I wouldn't have
That's
my fan base if I
important.
wouldn't have made a YouTube channel about it, right? Look at indie games that got big, like Teardown, something super underground idea, but original, and it got a huge fan base afterwards. Like you have to share your stuff to get a fan base in the first place. It doesn't matter if you have like a big IP you're recreating or if you have an original idea. Big IP might get you fans faster, but in the end, it all comes down that you share your stuff. If you don't do that, you have like no chance to get like new people on board, especially outside of Dreams.
I think there's a flip side to that coin too, though. Dreams is a very much a microcosm. There's a very few number of us. We all kind of know each other as creators and stuff. It's a small pool, and so you can kind of become known in Dreams really easily if you make something cool. But I don't think a lot of people that are creating Dreams know what it's like to build a game outside of Dreams and to publish a game outside of Dreams or to promote whatever XYZ outside of Dreams. And it's fucking hard and it's brutal.
Yeah.
And there's a million games that get published every day that are great, built by a team of people over years, have amazing artwork and good gameplay, and they just die on the vine. it's a hard business. And I think people in Dreams that have only built stuff in Dreams forget that. Like, there's no guarantee of success anywhere. Like, just because you don't have the option to monetize doesn't mean there's not, 10 other hurdles that you're not even thinking about
100%
because
agree.
all you've done is Dreams.
You
Yeah.
guys
know,
have
I've-
no idea.
Well, I've actually said
See
this in the
that.
past. Like, I've actually mentioned this in a previous episode before that we're very lucky to have the kind of space that we have with Dreams, where as of right now, it is quite a niche community and everybody sort of knows one another. So, in one way or another, you're gonna have someone play your stuff on Dreams, and you're gonna have some type of feedback. There's not a lot of games that I play on Dreams, even the stuff that isn't in the searchability of the creation, that doesn't have some type of feedback on it. Like, imagine trying to do that outside of Dreams, like releasing your game. It's going to be so difficult to get people to play it because you don't have that searchability. Whereas with Dreams, because it's so self-condensed, people are going to find your stuff and play it, and that's one of the things about Dreams to me that makes it so special is your stuff is going to get found one way or another.
It's so nice to be able to have people actually play your games.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
just out of
I
interest,
say,
Asa, the game that you made, you copied, as you say.
Yep.
How did that do? Like when you
so
released it?
that's a great question. I got a lot of like the question is how many downloads did I get from outside the Dreams community? I wish I could tell you. I want to say 5 to 0%, 5 to like 1%. I don't know the number. I should have made some sort of like survey in the app or something. I don't know, but not very many. It was basically and don't get me wrong, my app got more reviews than the average app, which gets like 0 reviews and no downloads. So that's cool.
Sure.
I say app, a game app, whatever. But did it break out? No. Could it have if I got a publisher who keep emailing me? Maybe. I don't know. I didn't though. I don't know. They all felt scammy and I don't know. It was weird. But maybe I should. We'll see. Maybe for the next one. But yeah, so get a publisher. That's my advice. I don't know.
Yeah.
I also
Uh,
like to add to the
tough.
whole
Yeah, go ahead.
like getting your stuff like seen. I don't like even if you're, let's say, the best like dreamer, the best at what you create. Um, Even that doesn't guarantee a chance that your stuff gets seen. But I think what you might need to focus on is the stuff you're making like no matter how like good it is, I think it's all about is it an eye catcher? Like is it gonna grab people's attention is the most important thing. And I think if you want to start like Kickstarter or any sort of way to like get monetization out of your craft, it really it depends on whether you can gain an audience outside of Dreams or you grow the Dreams like community enough to where you have to where there's a bigger audience in Dreams and there's a bigger audience for people to donate to for work. Because like we said before, currently how the way it is now, you're not gonna get enough. You're not gonna get thousands to. Uh, you're not gonna get. You're probably not even gonna get $100 out of what you make out of this like
Yeah.
small community. But
The
I
sucky thing is like
understand.
even if you make a really good game, they have to buy a PlayStation and Dreams. And like if you release it in a normal engine, there's all types of platforms you can send it to. But if you make an amazing, even if you make the best Dreams game ever, like Locke, like I don't know, you have to have a PlayStation and you have to have Dreams, and it's that barrier of entry which is
A lot of
tough.
people have a PlayStation though.
I know, but
And
still,
Dreams is like
I
what is
know.
it? 12
Yeah, a
quid?
lot of people. Like, there's 114 million PlayStation 4s out in circulation right now, but still trying to persuade someone to purchase a game to play your game is a big ask.
there's a difference between like, hey, here's my Steam link, to hey, buy Dreams and search. Like, there's that extra step it turns people off.
It is a big step to ask people to do, is to buy a game to play a game, and
Like, yeah.
it's just difficult.
Like, I know it sounds to us that's nothing, honestly, because we have Dreams, but like, you got to put yourself in the person's shoes who doesn't know what Dreams is. In my opinion, I don't know.
Can I just highlight there's a comment in the chat. Liam said that he'd like to see more like the bigger sort of like YouTubers and stuff highlight Dreams more regularly, like they do with sort of itch.io content.
That'd be awesome.
Because the problem I think with Dreams, and I'm going to go back to the past in a bit, because when Dreams was in early access, there was like a much bigger community, but there was also a lot more interest from outside sources. But the problem was that they were largely focused on the throwaway content, you know, the memes and the
there was no content back then. I mean, we didn't have enough time to make it, you know.
So whatever was being made, it was like, okay, this is the evolution of Dreams day to day to day. But then somewhere along the line, that interest fell off, and a lot of people just stopped. Like Project Genesis used to be really big on Dreams, used to be always promoting it and things. And then, you know, about 6 months after the full release, he just pretty much just dropped it, and he just randomly would show the odd thing now and again, but he pretty much just dropped it.
It's
and
important to
that
know
was around the time that the Dreams numbers went, you know, down.
PG wasn't good. He wasn't big before Dreams. He got big because of Dreams. It's important to know.
Exactly. And then he suddenly
which
pivoted
makes it
to
weirder
Call of
that he
Duty
quit.
Zombies.
But
which
there
is
is a
crap.
perfectly reasonable explanation for that, though, is because, you know, there was a lot of hype around Dreams over its release, because, you know, it's this new creation engine and everything, and obviously all of these big gaming YouTubers are going to instantly jump on it because they're like, well, it's a new game, there's a lot of hype, I'm going to get a ton of views. So the only thing to play when it released was all the memes and stuff, because again, it was a brand new thing with no content on it. And obviously, with anything made in Dreams, or any engine for that matter, anything that has, you know, extensivity to it is going to take a long time to make. And the internet has no patience. That's why TikTok exists. That's why we have 1-minute videos to scroll through, because people don't have patience. So that's why it's just declined. But I think that one of the important things to remember is Dreams is not ready for its marketing yet.
Oh my God! I knew you were going to do it, and I've been waiting. I've been.
We have to.
I've been sitting.
It's called Pojammy. We have to.
I've been sitting here waiting.
To do it.
We knew this was coming.
Yeah, we knew it's happening.
Okay,
But like, once all this stuff gets out, like, you know, they're gonna pay all these big YouTubers to start playing Dreams again, because then they're gonna have this huge playlist of stuff, and then the popularity will rise again. It's just all about timing.
Okay,
I personally don't think there's like some secret master plan to do a huge marketing push when X happens. I think, you know, that this has been what they're going to do. They're building a platform. They're going to keep working on it. I don't think there's like a secret marketing plan, like, oh, when we get
organic growth,
you know,
I think they'll push it once
multiplayer comes out. I think when the PS5 comes out, that will coincide with some sort of push.
Acer, did you say when Dreams Miles Morales comes out?
Multiplayer.
Oh, multiplayer. Dreams Miles Morales. I was like, wait.
I would disagree there. I think there will be a big player push at some point. I think right now it's quite evident to see that everything is being pushed towards creation. I think when it comes to a point where creation has reached its peak, where, you know, tons of content is coming out, which Sony would be happy with, I think there will be a big player push.
Well, I
think they have plenty of room to, you know, advance into the players side of things and keep players interested in coming back. I think there's tons of things they could do. So
now, yes, I agree.
I anticipated that you would bring in this, and I really want to go into it, because we talked about the concept of the big push for Dreams coming down the pipeline, and whether or not it's necessary, you know, per the discussion 2 weeks ago with Immortal Mason. And Scott AP left a comment on YouTube saying, for me, it is like a comparison to Roblox, which was never about playing big finished AAA levels that others make. It was about the fact that people could make, then play them, that made it so popular. Dreams
with their friends.
Dreams could be that popular for the same reason, but way better and way more polished. And this goes back to what I was saying regarding that whole thing you just brought up about a big push. I just don't, yes, I do think they're going to do it. I mean, according to Saban, like, they're going to do it. Like, they've been focusing on players or on creatives, and then they're going to make a switch and push for players.
Yeah.
Like, I get it, but like I said, I've always thought that there are things that can be done now, and the idea
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
what Scott brought up in that YouTube comment was basically it. Like, it doesn't have to be like, yeah, Roblox, you're playing it with your friends, but it's grown way bigger than that off of that premise. And I mean, to the point where, they've had their recent problems that I was talking about with,
Do people? I don't play Roblox at all. Do people play single player Roblox games? Honestly,
I have no idea. I don't use it.
I don't
No
use
idea
it.
what
anyone
Roblox
know?
even
I've
is.
never
I'll
heard
be
of it.
honest, I've never even
Because-
seen it.
I have nieces that play Roblox.
No,
And
right?
The reason you get on Roblox is so you can
you play with
type your
play with
little
other
emojis
idiots.
to your,
Yeah, like
to your other
With
internet
other
friend and
idiots.
you
Tell us
they're
how
running
you-
around
tell
and
us how you
little
really
Lego
feel,
people
Acer.
just
on
running
there,
around.
like,
Like,
they have like
Sorry,
top
you're not
data,
idiots.
Too
basically.
much with each other in multiplayer in Roblox.
I want to do that in Dreams badly. It's gonna be so fun.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
when
it's-
multiplayer drops, it'll just suddenly bring 1 million players to
I
Dreams.
think it
Like,
will. Not
see,
a million, but I really think it will.
I truly
It will
think
yeah,
it
there
will.
needs to be games first, but
Because
yeah,
as
but
big as
they're going to have a plan for what they're going to do with the multiplayer. They can't just release multiplayer and then be like, okay, so now we need you to make multiplayer content. They're
I
going to
agree.
have a bunch of stuff.
I think
Before that.
here's what I think. I'm sure you all want to hear what I think.
oh boy,
I think they should pay the creators to make multiplayer games before it releases. Us,
Yes,
like
I agree.
not their employees. I mean, of
Yeah,
course they're
that's-
employees, but
Yeah, that's a good point.
In a
I
multiplayer
actually think
beta
that would be a
program.
brilliant
please.
idea.
yeah,
The same way that
multiplayer.
the same way that they pay, for these random commercial things like the Ghostbusters game
Yeah,
or
but
the
bigger scale,
Mercedes or
much
whatever,
bigger
but actually
scale.
pay them for something that's going to be beneficial to the community in the long
Much
run
bigger
and
scale,
help
yeah.
them to grow, not just a glorified advert for a partnership.
Like-
But let's not get
I
into
have
the
no
corporate
opinions on that.
synergy.
I have no opinions on
Let,
that.
let's leave the
I-
Ghostbusters conversation for another day.
I'm not even, and it's more the Mercedes Benz one, really. I think is
Oh,
the one
no,
that
let's-
rankles me.
let's-
But let's not. We
thank
did
God.
Almighty's podcast the other week, and it
Oh,
got quite real. But no, I mean, I think Ace's idea is fantastic because
Thank you.
they've had enough time to see who are the good creators. They know they've already approached like a ton of them to make stuff for them. They know who could conceivably create stuff, and they'd be like, look, we come together and we want like, I don't know, 10 games to go for launch, and then
More
they'll
than
meet
that,
with them.
50.
I don't know. I mean,
They don't have to pay us much.
no.
Just like a couple $100. I don't know, just something. I think there should be an application. You show your work, you give them your plan, and then they maybe agree to pay you if you deliver or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. But something
I know
we
what I
need
would-
content
I know what I
before.
would make if I was motivated. If there was a motivation to make a multiplayer
Yeah.
game, I know what I would make because it's something I've wanted to make for a long time, but just
What?
not had the time to even really think about with everything else going on. But if I had a motivation, there's something I would definitely want to make for multiplayer.
I mean, I think that a lot of the games that we've been seeing, it's was it Dorian who said that he wasn't going to. He said he wasn't going to make any more certain types of games until multiplayer came out, and he was in chat. So if you're remembering what I'm referring to, yeah. But I mean, I truly think that's when all this stuff that people use for like high score wars and all that, that's when it's going to explode.
Yeah.
So I believe they already have it, and it's just going to be, people basically adding the functionality to what already exists. But on top of that, yes, what Acert said would be a way to do it actually pretty insanely, would be to just be like, okay, well,
See, like what you just said isn't a problem in itself. Is there an easy way to implement multiplayer into stuff that already exists? Like, there's a whole issue with that. I assume would be difficult.
It depends on the game
yeah,
Yeah.
I would think
I
it
don't know.
depends on the game, but I also know
and the
that
implementation of multiplayer.
most of the people that we would think of that could make a multiplayer game, like changing their game to be multiplayer, I don't think would be an issue for them. Like, it's not like me trying to make a multiplayer game.
We don't know what the implementation is
yeah.
going to be, but I mean, I can confidently say like there's probably 10 of my creations I could just convert to multiplayer without too much work. I mean,
Your
it'd be-
robot game, dude. Your robot game. Just add a shitload of little robots hopping
Yeah,
around.
I mean,
they don't
my
even have to
little
interact.
My little one-button racing game, I think, would be hilarious.
That
to
one
do
too. Yep.
multiplayer, so you just bump into each
The
other. Like,
jank
everything
bot.
Very
becomes
fun.
everything becomes
It's
fun
been
and
completely
hilarious
failed
when
to get
you're-
past the first corner then.
Yeah, when
Yeah,
you're
'cause-
when you're bumping and like screwing your
Yeah.
friend over in multiplayer, it all becomes fun, no matter how.
Yeah, that would be pretty fun.
Yeah.
I mean, if VR is any indication for how Media Molecule approaches new implementations like that, I think it would be really easy to implement multiplayer into games that already exist.
Yeah. I'd be very surprised if it isn't.
Yeah.
We have no idea how they're going to implement it. We have no idea.
But I know that the people who
They're keeping
at
the
least
cards
would
very
be
close to their
approached.
chest.
Yeah.
We're not starting from zero though. That's
Yeah.
the thing, Like we've been playing Dreams for 3 years or whatever.
Yeah.
One
So
thing
go ahead.
one thing I am scared if like multiplayer does releases, but it does not like grow Dreams more of an audience because the fact that people outside of Dreams or who have Dreams but haven't been who assume it's dead by now, they don't get that confirmation sourced out to them that multiplayer has been released or something. And I think it'd be most wise for MN to have YouTubers or pay YouTubers to sponsor their content.
100% agree. Exactly.
Even if they do it now, I think it would give like Dreams a bigger audience than it does right now.
I mean,
Honestly, because
all they need to do is when multiplayer drops, just add it to PS Plus for a month, and your problem's solved.
Yeah.
That's going to increase your player count.
As long as there are
might
games.
actually be
As
their
long as there are
long-term
games.
plan. That might actually be in Sony's kind of long-term, thinking, because everyone's been saying since the dawn of Dreams, really, give it as PS Plus, and we're like, well, no, because then we'll just get loads of random people coming on, making a meme and going, this is crap, and buggering off. But once there is something substantial for them to get their teeth into, like multiplayer, and you've got like 3 or 4 years worth of back catalogue to look through, there's going to be a lot more player retention, you'd think, when you do give it as a free. Or the other one, which I personally think would be better, is every PS5 comes with Dreams. So literally, you buy a PS5, Dreams is just there, and everyone who has PS5 also gets a copy of Dreams.
Yeah.
And then there's no excuse. Then it's like
I'm not sure how I feel about that. I don't know. I like as a Dreams player, as a Dreams creator, that's great. But I'm not sure how I feel about bloatware. Like software on your device that you don't necessarily want or ask for.
I think PS3
guy right here
on there, and I couldn't get rid of it.
No.
I mean, I literally had to turn on and stare at SingStar every single time I turn on my PS3 because they put it on there, and there was absolutely no way to delete it. I don't want SingStar. I don't want to sing. You don't want to hear me sing, but I still have to have this stupid thing on my console. So they have a precedent for doing that.
That's a bad thing.
Yeah, right. Are you trying to sell it or?
Well, see, the thing is,
I'm saying they've done it before, so do it again, but do it for something good.
See,
do it for something worthwhile. Because
some people like SingStar, whatever. I've never heard of that
It's
until now. But
it's completely subjective.
But whereas Dreams is something that is it's almost like added value, because you're basically saying, look, you buy a PlayStation, you can buy all the games that cost money, but also look at this. We've got tens of thousands of games created by a dedicated community that has been creating games using this software that we made and is exclusive to us. You buy a PS5, you get this as a bonus.
Yeah, back in season 1 when I of this podcast, where I was
How
like,
about just put it on PS Plus?
I was like, PS5 should be or Dreams should be on the PS5 when it shows up, because it would just be amazing. Because it's just like giving someone, basically, it's giving someone Netflix, YouTube, and like Blender, all in one, and it's on their console.
FL Studio.
Yeah, there you go. All together, and it's just like, I mean, I probably would have gone further personally, but yeah, it's instant value, which is also, goes back into the whole marketing thing of why I have my hangups about what's been done so far, because I'm just like, I get it that it's been a little complicated, or the people say it's difficult to market for such a game. I think it's only difficult to market if you only accept it as a game.
I mean, maybe it should
if
just
you
be
accept
free
it as more, it's everything.
Maybe it should just be.
Well, no,
So
I put it in chat. I was like, it's literally like a month away from being on PlayStation Plus.
Like maybe forget PlayStation Plus. Maybe it should just be free at this point. I mean, it seems like Dreams is on sale every month now. Like it's always on sale and it's always dirt cheap. Like it's like £13 or something right now. It's just
It's
ridiculous.
like $10 in the
Like,
States.
yeah, like
I mean,
just
they're
make
practically
it
giving it away.
free.
On PS Plus.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
you got to have a way to make money. So they're not going to make it free
True.
until they have another way to make money.
Very
Yeah,
true.
but if they struck up a deal with Sony, Sony would pay them and continue to fund them to develop it as something that evolves. So they would make money, but they would make it in a evolving content kind of way, you know, rather than a like how does Fortnite, like Fortnite? Okay, I hate Fortnite, but Fortnite makes money through the traditional monetization of costumes and all that crap. Well, Dreams isn't going to do that. Because what can they do realistically? I don't really see. It's not like Little Big Planet where they have the costumes and stuff. Because the imp is an imp. I mean, I don't care about the imp. I don't know about you guys, but I've had the same imp since day one, and I'm never going to change it because I don't give a shit about what my imp looks like. So you're never going to get me to spend a single penny on imp stuff. They're not
What?
going to. They're not
Really?
I
I
would
would
totally
drop
buy
$20
imp
for an
I'm
imp
a
that I
monkey.
want.
I'm always going to be a monkey. I'm never going to not be a monkey, and that's just the end of it. I don't care if you bring out bloody Marvel
you have
or
your imp.
anything
Okay,
tied
okay.
in. I'm not going to pay for an imp, but they're not going to go down the route of we'll have content packs because that would be unfair because they've already been given like a lot of stuff, updates and stuff for free. Plus you've got the community making stuff, so it doesn't really leave them with a lot of monetization options other than they're already
you can
on
talk
some
about
partnership
that.
with Sony, so Sony continues to pay them to evolve the experience as a PlayStation 5 tie-in, if you like, a piece of software that evolves along with the PS5. I see that as the most realistic option.
I don't think they'll do the
I-
imp thing, or maybe they will, but I don't think that's the extent of it. Like, the imp thing's
Extent,
fine.
yeah.
I think I think they'll have other things that come to mind that they're
100%.
going to do that are, beyond what we're thinking. We're thinking pretty narrow about like.
Well,
games
hold on.
we've
I
seen
didn't
that
tell what I said or what I think. What do you
Before
think?
you call me
people do
narrow.
think pretty narrowly about like cosmetic things they've seen in other games, and I think they know they can't do that, so they're probably having different thoughts, and it might be
Right.
around abilities to customize your experiences or something. Maybe they'll introduce a way for you to create your own avatar and then be able to use it in any game that people have set up a system to where they left 10% to include your own avatar.
That would be awesome.
I would pay for that. If I could make my own character and play it in all these different games, I would do that. That'd be fun.
Roblox, Core,
like
all
so
the.
I don't.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I just think we're thinking about it in very specific terms, and I don't think they are probably. If they're thinking monetization, they're probably having different thoughts.
I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on how we think Media Molecule should monetize Dreams. Entropy? How should they do it?
Oh boy.
I know Mighty might disagree with me on this point, but
Go for it.
I honestly wouldn't mind at least certain ads went on the Dreams. Like it's just kind of fair. I expect that with anything at this point, any platform to use that, because it's like the standard.
If it's
of,
free, sure.
Yeah.
But I paid. I bought 2 copies.
They could
Yeah,
release
no.
a version of Dreams like
A
that's
freeware
like
version.
Sure.
free,
Yeah.
but
Watch an
with
ad before
ads,
every
yeah.
game. All right.
Yeah.
If it's free.
But if you paid for it, no ads.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
At zero. No.
Yeah, and you don't get it both ways. We
Absolutely
all
not.
know if an ad makes its way into a game, it's just
free
in
to
there.
play.
It's
Yeah,
just
you
in
paid
there.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't.
I mean, they could do. They could do the things that other, great software does, where they do the microtransaction things and take a cut. Like if you build a game that lets you purchase something in the game, they take a cut of that. They could do that. It's not the worst, as long as there's people
You have to
monitoring
apply.
for quality control. Yeah, you probably have to apply. And
That's
you probably
what I
have to
think,
get approved, and your games would probably have to be reviewed to make sure you're not just taking people's money for stuff that no one's gonna care about. But that's possible and
that's
totally valid.
I think that'd be fair. It wouldn't be well. I mean, I can see a lot of people trying to do that and try to get away with a lot of money out of it, but it's not like hindering anyone else that normally wouldn't play that game, and
if you
no one's forced to buy those
If you
stuff unless
create a game that has shitty business practices and you have to pay every 2 minutes to play it, no one's gonna play it. Like that's
yeah.
so
Hope.
Yep.
there's a self-regulation aspect to it. Like I'm not gonna play that game.
Yeah.
That's a great one. I want to see them pay indie studios to make games, and then we would like Art's Dream, but more of that, and we have to pay a couple bucks for it. And then it could expand into Dreams Dreams players make their own little studios, and then they pay those studios. But they need to start with, in my opinion, outside of like actual known game studios. And I thought they were gonna do something like that, but I don't know.
I
Guess
mean,
not.
The
I
other
would-
thing,
I was hoping they would as well, but
the other
I
little
would
shit I
say
threw out there
they don't
as a lark kind of a couple weeks ago on your stream and chat was to like if I could send someone a link to my dream, like it's dreams, but it just boots up to my dream, I would pay money for that. Like, hey, I'll send you a link, and then maybe it
Cool
has a link.
idea.
Click more and purchase dreams. And if they get people buying dreams because creators are spamming their creations to other people, like I would pay $20 to like be able to send someone a link to dreams that opens only to my game. That'd be fun, like
That's
because they
actually a
don't
good
care.
idea. Affiliate
That's a
links.
really
Yeah.
interesting idea, actually. Yeah, because
Like
that's kind
I
of like
want
that's the demo, if you like. That's like they can play your game, but then off the back of that, it's sort of like, well,
it's basically
what
like a
else is
demo
there?
version of dreams, except I get to pay money to put my thing front and center and send it to someone.
Interesting.
I'd also say
Just
like
appeal to creators' vanity.
if they sell
But
like if they're selling like games on Dreams made by like other studios or something like that, I don't want to have to pay like a full price games in order to play that game. It's like at max maybe $20, but most preferably max at like the cap would be at like $10, honestly, for me to like play another game like Arch Dreams if I've already bought like Dreams already at like full price or whatever. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, so let's say they release Art's Dream 2 for $5. You wouldn't buy it? I'm just curious. You
No, I would
personally.
buy. I think I would buy
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I wouldn't be opposed to that at all. Like in general, if like for Originals, like if they started making these big games and dreams, and they started putting a price tag on it to try and introduce more money into the studio and stuff, I would be fine with stuff like that. Like
Agreed.
Bat's Tale that's just come out. If they put that up for $4.99, I wouldn't have no issue paying for that at all.
Yeah, I'm not sure
I'd be
about
fine
the
with
whole.
that if it was free to play as well.
Sorry,
Then
what was
I'd
that?
be fine with that. I'd be fine with that if it was free to play as well.
Mm.
But if they charge money to get Dreams and then charge money on top of that for the games.
Well, that's why I'm saying, like, I think the games the studio makes should be free, in my opinion. But I'm saying they should hire outside studios to make stuff.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that because I don't know if I don't know if that'll benefit the user base. I don't know. Like I'm not making an argument against.
We're trying to make Meat and Molecule money,
but
I think.
but
I don't know.
it's like, well, yeah. I mean, I do think that it definitely would do that. But then would it be even harder to like be a small indie developer within Dreams and be seen? Because if
Something to aspire to.
it's something to aspire to, but at the same time, it's kind of like those other indie companies. Like if they gave them the engine and then they made their own game outside of Dreams with that engine, all about it. But if you actually put what they do in Dreams, then it becomes a little harder. I would think. Like I'm trying to think this through as I speak, but it would become harder for like the user base to be seen, right? Like, wouldn't
I mean,
it?
I think
If you were going up against Naughty Dog, like, what?
yeah, it's like, but
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean,
I think it was said
Yeah,
in an earlier podcast, like even though you might not make something as like good as like a whole studio, it's like you could still make something pretty good by Dreams as itself, and it's like even though like a studio game is gonna get more of an audience than you, it's the fact that if it brings more people into Dreams, like that's gonna leave an opportunity for you to get more of an audience than you already would have had if we weren't growing more of an audience from other studios making
that
games
is
and dreams.
that's a great point. Like I said, I didn't know. Like I'm trying to think it through. Like would it bring in more players, or would it only bring in more players that would play still that like that quality of game? Would they look then at something that someone else does and then be like, oh well, that's obviously not good. I mean, look at that compared to what I just played. And now, of course, they're an asshole immediately, because we all know graphics don't make
There's
everything.
people like that in general.
But there are people who are like that. That's pretty much the mainstream of gaming. Like that's the COD boys and all that stuff. And I say that not to be like, if you play COD or about, no, it's just people play, people stick to things. I swear to God, I keep hearing a sound and it's throwing me off. But who knows? Something else is probably exploding.
This kind of goes back to what we were saying earlier about that idea of the built-in audience, like when you have something where there's already a kind of prerequisite. So one of the examples that going back a while was when MM did a collaboration. It wasn't a collaboration; it was a couple of streams with Josh something from Insomniac Games who make Ratchet and Clank, and he made that Ratchet and Clank sideways scrolling shooter, and like, okay, cool. I don't know if I'm in the minority here, but I was really not that impressed with that game in the slightest. And yet when I saw it got an MM pick, I kind of felt, this feels a little bit forced. Like, because I was sort of thinking, okay, if this had been made by somebody in Dreams, it wouldn't, because it's using IP. If it had been made by somebody in Dreams, but it was this, but without the Ratchet and Clank angle, it also wouldn't have got any attention, because it wasn't.
You don't know that.
That impressive.
We don't know, but I mean, maybe. I don't know.
It's pretty cool.
So that's the kind of warning of, if you suddenly sort of have these, known developers and things getting involved, that people will gravitate towards them because they'll think, oh, this has got to be good because it's made by, Naughty Dog or whatever or something. But actually, is it? Because I think someone said the other day of like, why wouldn't they do that? Well, it's because all developers are just working on their own thing. They haven't got time to go and make something in Dreams. So what you would end up with is probably some of the juniors or whatever working on it. So, because it's like, okay, we can spare a couple of maybe the lower level people perhaps from the project to go and make a game in Dreams. And then they'd make something that was perfectly fine, but people that are making stuff in Dreams and putting their heart and soul and, spending years making their passion projects would look at it and go, well, yeah, okay.
I would argue that
that's getting loads more attention.
The juniors would still make better stuff than 95% of the people on Dreams, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. But I mean, from the point of view of, they would make something in a couple of weeks, perhaps, that was, kind of quite short and throwaway or whatever, but would get lots of attention. And it would lead, I think, to people in the community that have been spending a lot of time that weren't getting that level of attention. There would be a bit of resentment from some people there, because it would be like, okay, so hang on a sec, they've just come in and they're just, blowing up Dreams, and we've spent, little teams and individuals making our stuff, and we can barely get anyone to look at our stuff, because we haven't got that built-in audience or that built-in kind of IP that we can fall back on. So personally, when I saw that Ratchet and Clank thing, I felt a little bit like that, I gotta be honest, because it did just feel like, it did just feel a little bit unfair that they were able to get that IP and nobody else would have been able to do that or get that level of attention
and
from
get
it.
the MM pick, right? Yeah.
And especially get the MM pick. I thought the MM pick was really a bit too far, because it was like they'd already had the 2 streams and the attention, and it was already getting the traction anyway. It didn't need the MM pick, which at the time was a big deal, because it used to be that really only the stuff that got an MM pick got any traction, and everything else just fell by the wayside. That was before the days of Tenure and Jacob, doing the creation, and it was when you were still looking at latest, and it was, what's trending? Oh, look, it's this meme again, and it was those bad days where it was really, really difficult to kind of get out there with your stuff. So the MM pick was one of those few ways that you could really get a bigger audience. Nowadays, it's not the case, because basically an MM pick is cool from a personal point of view, but it doesn't guarantee you a big audience. We only have to look at the MM picks of the last few months and see that a lot of them haven't even managed to hit 1,000 thumbs up, which is, it would have been unheard of, even 6 months ago.
Keep in mind, there's a solid player base right now of about 1,000. give
Yeah.
a little above, little below. So that's not, but that's pretty good. That's like everyone, you know, 1,000 thumbs up at this point.
What
Um,
if? Okay, I have a proposition.
uh,
What if they push certain games like Lock, on the PlayStation Store, but not as a standalone version? But you click on it on the PlayStation Store, and it says included in Dreams. Get Dreams for like $15, and you get these hundreds of games too. And it gets like a soft link to Lock. So if you start it up, it instantly boots up Lock, and then you back out of Lock because you're done, and you see all the other games that are in there too. How about
I
that?
think that it's a great idea, but if
Well-
done improperly, people will freak the F
Yeah.
out because they'll be like, spam, it's so bad. Dreams, they will get the worst view of Dreams because of that. It needs to be done right. I don't, maybe make a Dream section in the PS Store.
Yeah.
As opposed to
would be
like
awesome.
putting them within, like, let's say you search escape room puzzle game or whatever, and Lock
And Lock
comes up.
shows up. Yeah, that'd be wrong.
Lock is great, but like, I don't. It's not
Yeah,
really
I
what
think
you're
the only
looking
way
for.
a standalone game like bolsters Dreams' reputation or makes Dreams more notable is if someone's able to make a game in Dreams and like promote it and publish it without you ever even knowing it. Like that's when you know, like, oh, that's a legitimate tool. Like I didn't
Knowing
even,
it's Dreams.
like
Okay.
you could go and buy a game and then find out weeks later, like, oh, that was made in Dreams.
Ah, I
I
see.
never
Yeah.
even knew.
Mm.
Yeah,
Or
like-
when you're booting up a game, you see a little splash screen made in Dreams, like you see in Unity. The moment it becomes to that level, then you can say like, oh, well, then it's that's when, to me, like when it's not relying on in any way being a Dreams game, it's just a game that happens to be made in Dreams.
Man, that would be insane.
Well, that just requires exploitation, which is a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is
No,
not happening.
The
well,
secret dream.
I also would like to
not exactly.
bring up another topic. Kind of like what we were talking about. It's like in my honest opinion, I don't think Dreams should just be marketed towards gamers. Like in my honest opinion, like I think it should be marketed also towards kind of the side where the people who watch like who use like Netflix or YouTube, like other platforms, it should be marketed to them. Like even maybe not like I know that everyone that uses those platforms, not all of them play games, but it's like there's other stuff too you can watch, like and you can just watch in Dreams, like showcases, animations, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe Dreams could have their own like they could have another platform where like on your phone, like where you can where you exclusively just go there to watch like animations or showcases
Cool
made
idea.
in Dreams.
Yeah.
I don't
like,
think
I mean,
a Dreams phone port is coming, but I
mean,
hear you. Like,
but no, like I
Yeah.
said earlier, it's the idea that whenever people like say Dreams is hard to market for, I only believe it's hard to market for if you only look at it as a game dev kit. If you look at it for what it actually is, which is a complete game changer, like it becomes way easier to market. And I've never bought in. That's another reason why I don't completely buy into this idea of the one big push. Because literally you could push like 5 times and it'd be about something completely different within Dreams. If you look at, like you said, Noguchi, like they've gotten some good blow up because of the quality of the work they've done. You also have people like Willow the Bob, who, I'm sorry, but when it comes to animation, I have been hard pressed to see someone reach that level. I know that what's his name from, what's the other guy from, I've seen, he was animating way before Dreams, but he's in Noguchi's Bell. I don't want to misspell his name, but he's the one that does a lot of the animation there as well. Like, those two to me are like, you could put them anywhere where your finished product is animation, film, shorts, like GIFs, whatever. You could do any of it, and it matches the industry. And the whole idea that, like I said, I'll just cut this short. The whole idea to me that dreams is hard to market for or whatever, just like, you know, what I've said before and, you know, what's being said now, it's so much more than just a game dev kit.
Right.
It's more than a game. I mean, all of us can agree it's more than a game. Like it feels dirty to call dreams a game to most of us who create.
Yeah.
Like it's even beyond that though. And
Dreams, yeah. Dreams is the games, the stuff in it. Dreams is a game dev kit or whatever, but Dreams for most people is it's what is made in it that makes Dreams, and that's why I think it really only needs the games, the stuff in Dreams. I don't want to say games. The stuff in Dreams will market Dreams itself.
I get what you're saying.
You know,
But yeah,
I
and also
think
Bivson
Dreams
is
for itself,
I
and
use
it
a
gets the
profile.
opportunity for the platform to do so.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, that's why I just feel like you can focus on so many different things. And the fact that a lot of, a lot of the conversation gets caught up around like what gaming is, like what the gaming aspect of it is doing. I mean, it's on a PlayStation, so I get it. But yeah, it's literally Netflix and Game Pass and YouTube put together. That's what Dreams is. And the fact that it's only spoken about when it comes to creation or mostly spoken about and as just a game platform, it undersells it to me. So I do believe that you can market to different people. You can get people that aren't just gamers involved in Dreams. As I pointed out last episode about the dude, I should look up this dude's name. I keep friggin' bringing him up, and I never think his name. But the dude who was, it was a dude who was using Dreams. I mean, let's not even talk about the music, which, good lord. But there was a dude who's using it for like his science classes, and he was breaking down how the brain like mapped out like the neural network of the brain and how synapses fire and like did all of it in Dreams. And it's like that is just again the beginning of what it can be. And it gets me excited, as you can probably hear in my voice. It gets me excited thinking about it, but it's another reason why I'm just like, yeah, we're talking about games, but this is so much more. And I think a lot of the success, instead of it catching on with gamers, I think a lot of the success is going to really come down to how it can be applied outside. Like I used to have the conversation all the time on these episodes about how the reason I was interested in Dreams, outside of the idea of being able to create my own films or whatever, is the idea that it's educational gaming, which is one of the least represented aspects of gaming these days. Like, it's not like when I was growing up and you had Word Blaster and all that stuff to teach you to type faster. Like, but it is like educational gaming, and even more. And so it's like the educational aspect of it to me is something that really could. And we have to talk about this, but the guy, I'm just forgetting all names. I give up. Felipe Duarte Pena. He is coming on the show either before Christmas or if we do an impromptu episode after that. The first graduating class of basically graduates from a Dreams class, like a Dreams major. They just graduated. So like people are using Dreams to actually reach that next level of game development and education. And you can get you can get paperwork saying you did this. That's
is that like a game dev degree or what is that?
Yeah. And I mean, he's going to be coming on more to talk more about it. But if you go back to the episode with him, he talked about how they were trying to get this set up. And
that's cool.
I mean, with that being the case, it goes back to the whole thing of what I've been talking about like it's going to be monetized. And I really feel like one of the main conversations people have to have right now with themselves is whether or not they can wait and focus and hone the craft and then get the payoff for being a completely solid, well-built game in
At the
Dreams.
beginning.
Yeah, to really capitalize on the beginning, because when all these people, this influx that people are saying is going to come in when we get these players and stuff, that's when you're going to stand out. That's when you have the chance to pay off all this. Nobody's playing my stuff. I'm not getting the thumbs up I want. I'm not getting the shine that I wanted. That's going to be the moment when you can get it. But it's also going to be that moment where, how much time did you put in? How well did you hone it? Did you iron everything out in your game? Did you make it so that it was play tested beyond belief like a normal game should be? I mean, we've seen what certain we see what's passing out here these days, but because when you
this is why I know in part I'm gonna make a buttload of money off of Jankbot, because the quality's there, and ready.
AAA.
Yeah,
And it's been pretty low.
That's what that you'll rename it.
yeah,
Jankbot AAA.
and I mean,
AAA.
I just, like I said, it's so much more than what I don't fault anybody for wanting to make money for all the hard work that they've put in. I mean, I don't even understand how some of y'all do what you do. It's inspiring, and I don't care if you think your game looks basic or whatever. You may have your own personal doubts, but everyone that works in Dreams, even some of the stuff that we have openly talked about it, Jamie talks about hating, like the meme stuff. Some of the meme stuff, it's more than I can do. Like, it's still inspirational to me. Like, I'm just like, hey, I don't know how you did. Like that weird, what was it, Tommy the Engine with the weird
with the
horror
neck
neck
thing,
thing that's terrifying. It is pure nightmare fuel. But yeah, but it's like there are pieces of it that I look at and I'm just like, I'm not actually sure how they did that. Like that thing right there. And it's all amazing to me. But yeah, it's just the time is coming. I don't want to be some prophet or something. The time is coming, my children.
1 year? Is it 1 year or 4 years? Like,
Who
there's
knows?
a big difference.
Who knows?
Well, that's the issue.
No,
How long are we supposed to be making our game? Just waiting. All right.
I mean,
waiting for multiplayer.
it
Or
goes-
we can go outside of Dreams and learn game dev in that 3 years. If we knew it was a certain amount of time, then we can make plans around it. But just it's rough.
Yeah,
very real possibility that you will never be able to export a game in Dreams for the next 4 years. Like,
Yeah.
that's a very
Export.
real
Oh
thing.
God, I don't think we'll ever be able to
Or
export. That's my hot
monetize in
take.
any
But
way. Like, like there's a real possibility
There
that
is-
won't happen for
yeah.
you.
I
there
just want
is the
multiplayer.
possibility, but
I was referring to multiplayer.
There is the possibility,
Multiplayer, I
but
think,
at the
is,
same time, like I
other.
said, that goes back to our original stance of, well, then it becomes a decision. Can you wait, or do you need it now? And if you need it now, there's other engines. You're not trapped.
Yeah.
You're really not. And you can, and there's only so much that I believe you can hold Dreams accountable for that, simply because it wasn't there when you bought it.
Dreams owes you nothing.
Yeah, they don't owe anybody anything, but it would be nice.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah,
and I feel like if you get to that state there where you can say it would be nice, like that's all really you can ask for. If they had said when they first started talking about Dreams, yo, we're gonna making promises like most of these companies out here, that it's like, if they had said, yeah, it's going to be dropping this time, and we promise that in 6 months you'll be able to monetize by exporting it or doing whatever outside of Dreams, and they didn't do it, yeah, that's a problem. But they didn't make that promise. They told you what you would get, and you got it. And the rest would be nice.
Did they not
It
say
would
there
be.
wasn't Alex Evans in particular before he left Media Molecule always sort of saying that's on the cards? Like he pretty much promised that at some point you'd be able to export.
They've always
he
phrased
said,
it.
It
like
was
that's
working.
something-
It's been working.
Agreed.
It's working. From
They've
what I
always
understand,
phrased it as it's something that's possible
Yeah,
and that they
possible.
want to support. Like it's
saying that it's possible is not exactly a
Well,
promise.
it's more than possible.
No,
They
but
have it working.
But
They have it
Alex
working.
Evans did have a tendency
see-
to shout his mouth quite a lot about things that maybe he should have kept quiet about a little bit.
I mean, that's why they won't
later.
talk about multiplayer anymore.
Well,
right,
yeah,
yeah.
and that's
Because
probably sensible. That's sensible.
It is, but at the same time, a lot of stuff is possible, and possible still isn't a time limit. It's not a due date, and that's what I'm saying. Is you weren't promised a due date.
Possible might not even come. Like, so as far as I understand, it's working, but the process to get it working is like, it's ridiculous. It's like really annoying and complicated. So the question is like, should they do it? Like, should they commit the resource to do it? I think they should, because were we talking about exporting assets or 3D printing? We were talking about 3D printing, right?
Well, just exporting in general.
Yeah,
like,
and
that's,
yeah.
that's the
3D,
the way
3D
that
printing means
Alex
exporting. It's the same
talked about.
thing. You have to export the object. It would. Oh my god!
well,
Like, imagine
not,
Dreams
not,
exporting.
not exactly. Not
Well, I
exactly,
mean,
because all I've heard them talk about is 3D export for printing, which to me, what I've heard described as slices, which is different from exporting.
you think it's
A
directly
polygon wrap.
slices? Oh man,
Probably because it's a lot
oh
harder to do
no.
retopology on the fly. Like that's way harder to do. So like to me, I think they have a way. Like what I think I've heard described as slices, PNG slices for 3D printing, which is very different from retopology.
Why you gotta
like,
do me like that? All
polygon
right,
model.
well,
Oh,
all
God,
right.
slices.
That
they
gets me a
can't do
lot
it.
less hyped for.
Not saying they can't do it, but
Yeah.
I'm not counting those chickens yet.
I just want.
This is what you get for
it
wanting
would,
stuff.
It would make
No.
Dreams a real like game dev tool if we could export
I've heard
assets.
a very, very specific use case, and that's
Yep.
3D printing, and so that to me says nothing about what format you're getting.
I thought it would be like a GLTF thing, and then
Hey, we don't know what it
something.
is. We don't know what it is.
Don't know.
I mean, that could be
I
a
mean-
Only
future
they
thing.
know.
Yeah, I mean, because it could be.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have these hot info sources like on this in particular, but it could be that's what it started as, and then it could be something completely different by the time it comes out, if it comes out. Wouldn't it be nice though?
It would be.
I'm sorry, I'm stuck on this. Wouldn't it be nice?
To add to like the whole, like if you need monetization now or some big budget for what you're working on, like I get like not wanting to choose another platform outside of Dreams just because, let's say, Unreal, like it's so much harder than what you can do on Dreams. But at the same time, the reality is that you can't expect to gain what you want right away. Like really, the most we can do out of all of us can do really is just like do as much work as we can on Dreams on our spare time and wait until it becomes something more. That's really the end of it.
Yeah, for Dreams.
Yeah,
And you could learn a different engine, but if you're dead set on Dreams, I agree.
I mean, I from my point of view, I'm not going anywhere because I've tried in the distant past, Unreal and stuff, and I just didn't get on with it because I just didn't enjoy it. Whereas I love Dreams. I turn it on, and if I don't want to create, then I can just have a look what the community's doing, and if I want to create, I just get stuck in and I can make whatever I want. And I feel that Dreams has got the potential to be, the sky's the limit as far as Dreams go. And what you're saying about like the waiting and stuff, it's not really a problem because I have no intention of like making anything outside of Dreams. If I can't ever make something that it goes beyond Dreams, so be it. But it would be nice. But
Yeah.
I enjoy it. It started as a hobby. It's become a bit more than a hobby because of how much time I've spent with it. But it's still just a hobby. It's not something that I have to make money from or whatever.
What's more than a hobby? An obsession?
Well,
like
more than,
I
more
honestly,
than a hobby is like you actually are able to dedicate more, all of your time to it. So you can give up your day job and you can go, I'm going to be an indie developer, and my whole thing is funding, and then you know. But I can't do that, and
For you
most
though,
people can't do that.
yeah. I mean, you said it was
So,
more than a hobby for you. So what do you mean by
well,
that?
I mean of how much time I spend on it, because if it's
Hobby
a hobby, you
deluxe.
spend like a couple of hours a
Yeah.
Hobby
week on
plus.
Hobby
doing something.
plus.
No,
I
I
was
hear you.
about
I know
to
what
say
you're
that
saying.
hobby
Like,
plus.
I just
Dreams
don't
has
know.
pretty
Like,
much
I
taken
think
over
hobby is like
my bloody life
It is.
outside
passion.
of
Like,
work
sorry,
and family. Yeah, passion, exactly. Yeah. I suppose it's just I
passionate
don't
hobby.
I don't play other games very much
Same.
because I'm always doing dream stuff, and I'm always trying to find little bits of time to do stuff on dreams, um, where maybe it would be more beneficial for me to do other things. But it's like, oh, I've got this to do or this to do, and I need to do this bit of logic, or I've got to do this sculpt, or and there's always something that. It's more than just a hobby, because I think with a hobby you can just kind of put it down and come back to it when you've got time. Whereas with dreams, you feel like you've got like, oh, I've got this, and then I need to work on this, and that's where I say it's more than a hobby.
Dreams
But
has
at the same
become
time,
like
we're not making any money from it, um,
Yeah.
really. And so, in terms of
Bored.
waiting, yeah, I can wait for what's coming. I just enjoy the hell out of making stuff, and yeah, it's nice when people play it and give you nice feedback and things like that. But I've taken the view over the last year, realizing that Dreams community is pretty niche, and you're not gonna get that level of engagement, numbers wise at the moment. So don't worry about it. And actually, it's better when you do just get that genuine feedback from people that have enjoyed something you've made. That's
Yep.
if you make something and you get 100 thumbs up, but you get like 20 comments that say that people really enjoyed it, that's great. Whereas sometimes you could make something that gets thousands of thumbs up, like a little meme or something, and you look at it and there's like one comment, and it's kind of like, well, what means more? I think it's the thing where people actually took the time to tell you that they enjoyed the thing that you made means more. And that's what we get with this community, because it is quite close knit, and there's a lot of people that we interact with each other, and we kind of know each other, from what we do in dreams and on social media, and there's a really nice back and forth with things that makes dreams special. And I think it's kind of like when you work at a job where you don't really like the job but you like the people, it keeps you sticking around, it keeps you there. And I feel like the community is a big part of what keeps the people that are engaged with dreams still with dreams. And it saddens me when people say that, oh, I'm pissed off with dreams, or whatever, I'm going to go and do something else. Because like, yeah, but you're not, because it's not gonna be the same. You're not going to go and like learn Unreal and be able to do the same thing that you've done in dreams
They
without
might.
a lot of training
You-
and a lot of starting from scratch again. You'll learn the basics in dreams, but
Yeah.
software is a whole nother,
I think
a
that's
different.
purely dependent on the person, though. I mean, some people
Well,
can
it depends
pick
on
up
their
Unreal
background,
or
obviously.
some people can pick up Unreal or Blender and it just clicks with them like that, and they're
Mm.
just
Yeah,
that making
I still
stuff.
think
Like,
he's right as a rule, maybe not the
as a
exception.
rule, yeah.
Yeah.
I,
So,
yeah. It
but
It's a
depends
lot
on
more
what you want from
complicated than
dreams.
dreams,
Yeah.
because
Depends on the
dreams
person.
has it all in that one. Whereas, as we've discussed many times with stuff like Blender and Unreal, you've got all these separate things. And even Martin LeBlanc always says when he does stuff, he gets frustrated because you've got to do all these different parts in different bits of software, and you've got to do lots of waiting and rendering and hanging around, and that ruins that creative spark, because you've got an idea, but you've got to
Flow.
wait for this program to do something for an hour before you can then do this thing. And by the time it's not fresh. Whereas with dreams, he's just there, and you watch his videos and he's just and within a couple of hours he's created this masterpiece. And that's because of the accessibility of dreams.
yeah.
And that's what dreams is. That's what ultimately dreams is going to be sold on, is that accessibility. I think that's the thing that when it does finally break through, it's not going to be the games as such. It's going to be that people in the industry realize how bloody easy it is compared to the stuff that they've been struggling with for decades, and how much more work they can do. So when you talk about trying to get on the, what they call those people that did the Bob Ross thing,
Yeah. Corridor
to
Digital. Yeah.
do, yeah, that's it. Having something where it's like literally Martin LeBlanc and them, and they're using their software, Martin's using Dreams, would be incredible to see, because that Martin would just be like, "Bam, done," and they'd still be there watching a render or something, and they'd be like, "Well, okay, we're waiting for this," and Martin's just got this whole scene in like an hour or two, and when people can see that, and when people can actually see how much quicker Dreams is for a workflow, especially for people that work in the industry and day in day out are dealing with these kind of pitfalls, that's when Dreams is going to get, I think, its big kind of break, if you like. I think it just needs that was it, at the moment it doesn't really have the reputation compared to other things, and part of that might be down to its rocky start, and part of it might be down to the lack of things like export. But once people get on board with it, that actually have a voice in the industry.
Why would they
Like
get
I
on
said,
board with it if
don't-
they can't?
Why would they get
export?
on board with it? Because if you're able to do things outside of games, like Martin LeBlanc does,
Yes, with that, yes,
then
yes,
Yeah.
I agree
they would
there.
be
Yes,
able to
yes,
get
yes,
on
yes.
board with
What's stopping them from
using it as an
now?
artistic tool.
Why can't they do that now?
The reason they
Well, no, that's what I'm saying.
they
It's
don't
like,
know.
That's what we're waiting. That's what we're waiting.
They don't
for.
know
We're waiting
about
for
it?
more
No, they don't.
adaptation.
I mean, I hate to go back to this, but I've talked about it on a myriad of episodes of this podcast where I think that there are people who, like, yeah, we're gamers. We knew about Dreams since 2012 when it was in the back room of an E3. Like, we followed it, then we saw the actual E3 presentation of it way back in the day, and we were like, yo, that looks awesome. I'm going to do it. There are people who saw none of that. Like, they saw none of it. I know, and I always bring up this person. I know a person who played all of the Little Big Planets. All of them. I told her about Dreams. She had no idea it existed.
Wow.
When I tell you that they did not make a push, like not a
Like-
meaningful one. Like,
Did they put an advert in Little Big Planet?
They're
Like at all? You know what I mean?
not
Yeah,
that.
that
I-
would have been a good idea, but I don't think
Would
they
that be
No.
weird?
did.
I don't think it'd be weird personally.
It's
but,
their game, right?
But
Well,
They
Sumo
got
actually.
involved.
Yeah,
It's like, hey, you like
Yeah.
2D? How about 3D?
Yeah.
but yeah,
People
it-
think it's 3D.
and the thing is they have. I do believe they have a plan. It's all in the plan. Like, I do believe they have it, but at the same time, this is what I'm talking about when I say that there is a place, because for anyone, I personally say, for anyone who like is on that, I want to make money right now, and you don't want to go the Patreon route, you don't want to do whatever. Use the other venues like Elka was talking about. Like, when you stream, you share your stuff. When you get followers, when you get the subscribers, when you're going to, when you create your YouTube and you get people coming through, that is hard work. Yeah, you're not just going to put up one video and be like, oh yeah, and I put up that one video and now I have 30,000 followers. No, that's not how it works. You have to work
your
at it,
bad
but
robot.
you have to work at everything.
It should work like
it
that.
doesn't, you know
One
what?
video. I deserve those subs.
Wouldn't it-
Bad Robo pretty much did that though. I mean, he
Actually,
made a video
that's
of Dreams, and it did
That's
just
a good
blow.
point.
See-
It did just blow up, and it was like, holy
See,
shit, who is
yeah,
this
but
guy?
but that's the thing. Like, he shared something, and I believe that people who even see it, like, one, he got all the people that know about that play Dreams, like, you got those, and then immediately you do have the people who are interested but are mad it's not on PC, but then they see him create something to that fidelity. Like, it's possible, but like I said earlier, we're talking about the rule, not the exception. Like, you can't count on being able to do that. People work towards that. And it goes back again to what we talked about 2 weeks ago on the podcast. You ask most people who are big, like really big in YouTube and have these massive followings, and you ask them, or, they sit there in their videos and they're like, I have no idea how this happened.
It's 50% luck.
Huh?
Literally. Like,
Yeah.
you can put in work for every video, how much you can spend all your day making videos, basically. At the end of the day, it's all down to the algorithm and if your video gets picked up or not. And everything after that is your responsibility to deliver after that. If you ever get picked up by the algorithm, if you don't deliver after that, you will never do it again.
I
It's
disagree.
so luck-based.
I disagree. It's the algorithm is not like, yes, you there is some sort of luck. I would not say it's 50%. You need to
I'd
make
call it
searchable
80.
content, or you need to make viral content. It doesn't matter how great your video is. If no one can find it, that's kind of your fault. Like if you're, you need to make videos around the algorithm. You have to keep it in mind. If you're making amazing content, but you're not like making it
Playing the
searchable or
game.
making it
That's
findable,
true.
it's your fault. It's your
Yeah,
fault.
that's
You're
true.
not playing the game.
Yeah,
You're
you gotta
just
follow the trends and everything, and
you don't have yeah. So that's one thing you could do. Yeah.
So let me ask.
But-
Well, who was that? Someone was just about to say something. I don't want to cut anyone off.
Oh, I was gonna say, like I think if like even if you don't want to monetize your work, I think you should like also share it like as much as you can, because streams needs that like bigger audience, like just for a multitude of reasons, but I do really think it's best to like try to share it to other communities. It doesn't have to be like a big, like it doesn't have to be like as big as like the entirety of YouTube, but even like smaller communities, like places where artists go to, maybe like Newgrounds, I don't know. But it's just share your work out there, honestly. I think everyone should do that.
Agreed.
I
Although
also
it is
kinda-
demoralizing to share your work to a black void of nothingness. That's
Yeah,
what it feels like when no one sees your stuff. But no, I hear you. You got to share it to the right places. Don't spam. If it's good, it'll get popular. If it's not good, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
If it's good, it won't necessarily get
I just-
popular
I
because
feel
there's
like-
that luck thing happening as well.
I want to say it out loud because Imberg's put something in chat that I think luck is where preparation meets opportunity. And I think that is important for people to hear because I do believe that there definitely is. I wouldn't have said 50% luck personally. I would have said more like 85% luck. But I do believe also that you can do things so that when the luck happens, you're there to capitalize on it. So, because I mean, there's just so many people. There's so many people and there's so many things everywhere. I mean, maybe I'm just coming from the old days as an old man out here now, but back in my day, when I remember when there were literally like 10 movies that came out a month, and you would go to the theater and the same movie would be in the theater for like 8 months. Not even that it was breaking records, it did anything great. It was just there. And you just got
10 years ago, 20 years ago. What are we talking?
we're talking
30 years ago.
We're talking about 25 years ago.
Okay, I wasn't okay.
yeah, no, I was
I told
one,
you I'm an
so-
old man. Anyway,
Same,
I'm much
same.
older than y'all think, unless you know how old I
I
am.
think
because
you're
I did.
41.
Yes, but
I don't know how old you are.
but
41.
Oh no, I'm 40. I just turned
40,
40
okay.
October 21st. But
You told us before.
yeah, but the thing is like that's what it used to be like. Just like I always tell people that you can't be like really a superstar anymore. Not the way it used to be. When you like if you were the heavyweight boxing champion of the world, you were literally like being hosted in like enemy superpower government dining tables. You were walking with people's armies. You were like a figure of like a figure. Like when they said the world, everybody put their shit on the side and was like, yeah, but that's the heavyweight champion of the world. You don't get that anymore. You don't have that anymore. Just like you don't have stars that are as big as Michael Jackson anymore. They're big. Don't get me wrong, but they're not Michael Jackson big. They're not like I said, heavyweight champion of the world big because there's so much stuff out here. I mean, hell, just look up if you get a chance. Look at how many movies launched on Tuesday. Like if you really want to put it into perspective, like it used to be maybe like 40, 50.
Yeah, the barrier to entry is a lot lower.
Yeah,
It's a lot lower.
Now there's literally like tens of thousands of movies that launch every Tuesday. It's insane. And so with that in mind, that's why I would raise the luck percentage a little higher because there are a crap ton of people, and as many of them as we know that do make it, it's not the percentage that I think it's much a lower percentage than I think most people would be happy to put it at. It's like a good 2%. And I'm talking about the mega, not just, getting
Well,
your own
yeah,
community.
I didn't think we were talking about like super famous. Of course, that's just, I'd say that's 100. Like, that's insane. You have to be insanely lucky. But I just mean like moderately successful on YouTube, and the definition of moderately successful. Oh my God, changes per person. But like, I don't know, 10K subs, 50K subs. I think anyone can do it with the right plan. Zero luck. I think it is zero luck. You need to put in the work and the time, and you need to make good content. It's harder now, don't get me wrong, because there's so much out there. But if you put in the work and it's good, I would say there's 0% luck. You have a 100% chance to succeed, but you need to put in the work. You need to put in. I'm sure. I'm trying to be controversial.
Oh, good.
This is a hot take, but I watch YouTube. Not tutorial. The YouTubers who teach you how to make YouTube videos and stuff like
like
those guys. There's one guy, but I'm not gonna. Whatever. It is 0% luck. I promise you to be 10K, 50K subs. It just takes time and effort. Okay, but someone else talk. Disagree with me, please.
I believe it. I believe it takes time and effort, and I do believe that it's definitely achievable. But I don't think it's as achievable as you're saying, because that is completely. If your whole point is to do that, because
what do you mean?
You can enjoy making content, and there might be people who would enjoy your content, but you don't do you don't formulate your content in a way that gets people how would you put it? I don't want to say that gets people to look at it, but you don't formulate your content in a way that, I guess, follows the trend.
Well, then you're doing it wrong.
See, and that's what I wanted to hear, because I agree, but at the same time, it's like the fault isn't on I don't feel like the fault is on the user.
But it is if they don't play the game right.
I'm just saying anyone can do it. I'm not like
I'm not
saying anyone can do it in their way. I'm saying anyone can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, 50K on YouTube is nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I agree.
I mean,
50K is.
I would say it's nothing.
If you put in the work.
Calm down. Calm down.
It depends on your active viewers. It depends. They could all be dead
everyone.
subs. They could honestly, your average view count is what matters. But
yeah, exactly.
But people understand when I say I could have said 5K per video, 10K per video, but I said a sub count because people understand that more. But all that matters is your average views per video. Your subs don't matter. They could all be. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Yeah. So you were disagreeing, Mighty, or do you agree with me now, or what? You just gotta.
The thing is I agree, but it gets into a whole other realm.
The reason it's true is because relatively very few people will do the time and effort and work.
Yeah.
That's why it'll work.
Yeah.
That's why I can confidently say that.
No.
Because it's a lot of work.
Right.
That's the whole point, though, is if you put the effort in and you do your research and you understand how to upload, how to edit it,
and it's good. And it's good.
Then it's totally feasible that you can reach that type of numbers, but you've got to put in so much work to make it happen.
Now, the luck. Sorry, one thing. The luck comes in with choosing your niche. If you stumble upon something awesome, I'd say that's luck, because you don't know if your topic is good or not. But yeah, so that's I don't think that. I mean, yeah, of course there's some luck with the algorithm, but I think most of the luck is I don't know, choosing what you do and your strategy and stuff. But it doesn't have to be luck, because you can do your research and stuff.
So basically, I agree. So basically, I agree with you, and it's based off of the idea that you don't hate the player, you hate the game, and that's where my disagreement comes in, because I'm a person that, well, don't even get into it. It's just, it expands beyond. It's, I agree with you. Let me just end it there. I agree with you. And I believe you are absolutely
All right.
correct.
Perfect.
In order to get
That's
to
what I
that
like to
point, you maybe have to sell out a little bit or do something that goes against your principles or your personality even to appeal to the type of people that perhaps the algorithm
So
Yeah, I hear you.
being
That's the
that
tough part.
attached.
Finding something you enjoy and the algorithm enjoy. You know,
Right, yeah.
you
It's
don't
tough.
make a decision for yourself. You make a decision
No.
for yourself and the algorithm. No. But that makes
Algorithm
me
is
want to.
the
That makes me
ultimate,
want to get into something
Hmm.
before we close out for today, and it's based off.
Wait,
of,
sorry. I just want to say something. We could replace the word algorithm with audience, and it would mean the exact same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because the algorithm at this point is just what the people want. It feeds the viewers what they want to see. So you got to give them what they want. So, but continue, please. When I say algorithm, I'm basically joking.
I forgot
but
what I was going to say.
I'm so sorry. I am true. That is 100%
I
my
do
fault.
gonna want to mention why marketing dreams is like so hard. Well, it's hard to market dreams as a game.
Yeah, that's
Like
what.
the issue I have with like the dreams like trailers, because it's like it's showcasing all these games, but so much of them are so like different from each other. That's like it's not painting a clear picture to people like what it is, or it's something that they want to be a part of. I think, but if they would have marketed as like a platform, like showed the UI and showed like all these different things you can do in it, not just like the gameplay aspect of it, not just different dreams that you show like for 3 seconds and expect people to click for them. It's not, and which I believe are watching this, but they're not gonna obviously confirm that. But please, market whenever you do decide to market your game. Well, market dreams as a platform.
Yeah, I think
They used to do that.
they've done that.
I remembered.
I'm not sure how well, but
Yeah.
I remembered it because y'all had brought
great.
up multiple times earlier about wanting to have influencers come in, and it was honestly I think part of like the third episode we did where I don't know if I want them. Like I don't know if I'd rather have Elka.
but we need them.
I mean,
Like
No.
see
I
the
know,
thing.
I
See,
know, I hear you.
see,
Dreams influencers.
but
It kind of goes back to what
because
you were
the thing
saying
is
about YouTube in general, wasn't it?
These influencers like the fact I don't know, maybe I'm just a butthurt baby, but when it comes down to it, it's like when y'all were talking about someone, I don't want to say names because I was not up to date on them. Like I wasn't in the community yet, so I'm not trying to judge anybody. But the idea of somebody like coming in, getting big off of dreams and then leaving is going to leave before actually showing people why they should stay. Like if it's
I
just
think
a number generator. No,
I
I'm
just
not
speak
talking.
to, like,
like I
no,
said, I don't
just
know
wanna
this
say, like,
person.
as a YouTuber, it burnout's real. Like we don't know why he left.
Yeah,
It can get
that-
maybe he got bored. It's tough, man.
Yeah, no, that's why I said I don't want to angle it at anyone particular because I'm not familiar with the person. But I feel like
Yeah.
part of the bad name that Dreams has came from people, not whoever that was, but people like PewDiePie or many of the others that came in, showed like didn't
memes,
know what they were looking for. They're
Interesting
not
point.
familiar with anything. They come in, show, look at how jank this goes, and they laugh, and then they're out.
I think
It was
I think
funny.
it's important that like dreams creators sit down with these influencers and show them what is good and how
yeah.
it all works, and to show the audience of their people that don't know dreams how all of this works and what the limitations are and like what is possible, and not just show the very first thing that comes up in dream surfing.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, I forgot to say it.
it's like the Quarter
I think
Digital thing and Martin.
if you make a really
Yeah.
good game, you should reach out to YouTubers. Like and
I do.
try to get them to play it.
I'm trying.
Not you, not
I'm
you, not you,
trying.
goddamn it, I mean, non-Dreams YouTubers. There are a lot of YouTubers who just play games every day. I watch them. Go reach out to like so a lot of game player YouTubers, they play specific genres. If your game falls into that genre and your game is good, like reach out to them. Try to get them. They're probably gonna ignore you, but maybe they won't. It's like someone played. At least one YouTuber did a full series on Lock. I'm not referring to myself. I don't know their name, but I think bigger YouTubers could have played it, and if they did, I don't know. So please correct me. And there are other games too. I don't know, like the Pig Detective series. I think that, but I don't know. Just if you spend years on your game, get outside people to play it. It's
Don't
your
do it in the
responsibility.
comment section though. Write them an email. There is
No,
like an
wait,
email
is
section.
that what people
on
thought I meant? Oh God, email them. That's what I mean.
Yeah, there's
Oh my
like
God,
an
please
email
don't.
on the channel page.
Play
Do
Don't
that.
go in the comments. Oh man.
Because I can assure you, everything after 100k looks for like the first hour of the comments and then moves on. Because everything after that is cringe.
Well, it's all cringe.
Yeah,
But
I don't go to the comment section of
Yeah,
anything.
just don't go to the comments at all.
Yeah, it's like I'll go
Sorry
to
for us,
that line
guys.
to leave
Email
my
them.
own to be like, hey, this is good stuff. And then I'm gone because I don't want to see what Jesus thinks of people. I don't want to see what conspiracy is happening in the comment threads. Like, I don't go to comment threads of anything anymore. But yeah, it's just, like I said, I do want there to be those types of collaborations. But I don't know if I want some of these people to come in because I saw what happened when they did. And it created something that Dreams is still working off. Like,
do you want players or not? Do you want players or not? What do you? We can't win with you.
No, I think no. I
You
think
don't want a bunch of. I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's like I think that those things.
I know what you mean.
It's sort of making it seem like it's a deal with the devil.
Yeah.
You gotta make the deal with the devil.
exactly.
You know, it is a deal with the devil. But
I mean,
the game,
curation wasn't
the
great
game.
back then, right? The
and
curation was kind of shit,
and
and
that's
now it's
what I
better.
mean.
So,
Yeah,
See-
that was my point way back when. Is creation was dreadful before Tenure and things came on board and did what they do now. And now it's like you don't have to search for the good stuff because it's just there right in front of you. You go on
They
Dream
pay
Surfing,
people
it's
now
like
to do that.
bananas. It's like latest things added to the playlist. We've built up, people that we follow that we enjoy their work and they change. So it's not a problem now. But when they were doing it, they were literally just going on what's trending, and what was trending was always the shit because it was always the memes or the IP. Hey, this is
Which
my Crash
ironically is
Bandicoot
what they
game,
like,
which is literally
so,
just somebody has made
the
Crash.
shit.
Well, taken the Crash Bandicoot
Yeah, but
character.
you also
all
have
down
to
to
remember.
teams, it said, in progress.
But you also have to take into account, like, for people like PewDiePie, like who plays games, like the
What he
meme
wanted.
stuff. The meme stuff is what's going to make his YouTube video make him money because it's the stuff people want to see. So even if the curation was brilliant back when he did that video, he would have still searched for all that shit because he'd want that shit for his video to make it the way that he makes his stuff. He's a comedian. He entertains his viewership, and to do that, you need the shit. That's just how YouTubers work.
I mean, and
You
see,
need
and
the
that's
shit.
and that's kind of what I mean because I felt like it wasn't just him. That's what everyone did, and even the people who came after curation started. And it's that's why I would rather have these meaningful things like Recorder Digital and Martin Avalon.
Like,
It's personalized.
yeah.
To
What
come
was that thing that like people kept making, and it was the same thing, but everyone was like making their own
Wario?
version? Yeah, but it was like it was
Sonic.
you walked
Oh
on
my
a corridor
God.
with
Five
Mario
Nights at
and
Freddy's.
thing happened. Oh, I don't know. There's just too much. There's just too much.
There's a
to-
difference
Time.
between the large meme YouTubers who have a bunch of 13-year-olds, and the game the YouTubers who play games, like games. We need to go for them. Not that I don't care about PewDiePie.
Yeah,
his
we
audience.
need gamers. We we don't just need gamers.
We're all
though. We need
gamers,
people that appreciate art and music. Because like some of the music that's made on Dreams is absolutely phenomenal, and some of the musicians in Dreams are absolutely brilliant. And some of them have even released stuff outside of Dreams. So that's great to see. But like having people that were actually able to promote that sort of stuff as well. Not just the games, but what else can you do in Dreams?
What can't you do?
Yeah,
What
that's
can
just
you do?
it.
What
What
can't you do? Exactly.
But-
But
Oh,
that will
don't give
help
me
to-
some. Never mind. Oh, bad
that-
question. Oh, bad
What
question.
can
That's
you
not
do?
what I meant.
I
Well,
mean,
there's some things that you shouldn't do, but people are doing in
Oh,
private.
so what
that's
can't
really
you?
not
So
good.
what can't you do? That's
No, I meant
But,
exporting
no, I mean-
multiplayer, like that shit. That's what I was referring to.
No,
Yeah.
no.
But
You can make all the. Never. I'm not gonna. Never mind.
No,
there's
Just don't publish it.
there's a lot of in terms of
Legal
like
physics.
being able to
do
get
that.
stuff out there for the wider audience to see, like I was saying earlier about the art community who doesn't know about Dreams. If there were more people that were able to showcase what you can make in Dreams, they might actually take a plunge and go, oh, let's try this out. They
and-
might be
and not just
That's a
what
really
you,
good
and
point.
not
And
just
what we're
what you
doing
can
at the
make.
moment.
How?
The
Like-
art YouTubers,
like-
the music YouTubers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's just like, I mean, because we're not going to
There's
go back
one
to the
guy.
whole Ghostbusters thing, but one of the points we brought up in that was the fact that we didn't get to I didn't get to see any video of it being made, just people
Yeah.
talking and touching it for like 3 seconds, and it's just
yeah, like a bunch of the cast sort
Ye-
of going, oh,
yeah.
this is
Which
cool,
was,
and then
you
that was
know,
it. It was like, okay, but
That's
maybe like some of the process would have actually been cool to see.
yeah, because that helps Dreams, not just
Right.
the
Yeah, and it
not
goes back
just
to
the
what
movie.
Char was saying
Yeah,
about showing the tools
yeah,
and showing the platform.
And so,
in
like,
it.
I don't think there's any influencer really who's capable of doing that except influencers from our community.
Music YouTuber, like
Oh,
people
no.
make.
Well,
There's YouTubers who make music. They can show it.
yeah,
People
but
who make
but they
art,
have
they
to
can
but
show
they
it.
have to be able to do it though.
Yeah,
Like
they'll
it can't
learn.
just
They're good.
be
They're talented.
showing it. Well, hopefully, I mean,
Wait, what?
the one person that like one group I'm trying to get in contact with right now is a channel called Two Set, and
Okay.
they are classical violinists, and basically they just talk music. They also recently like made some sort of musical game or whatever that was
Oh my
like
god. Okay. All
what
right.
was it, like a musical not in Dreams,
Pretty cool.
mind you, but
No, I know, I
yeah, like a musical. What was it? They really like, what do you call them? The rooms, escape rooms. They really like escape
Okay.
rooms, so they made an escape room game based off of like all the clues and stuff being musical.
That's awesome. Are they
and-
devs or did they hire someone or what?
I don't know. I have to watch the video.
Okay.
But like getting them,
Okay.
and having them be able to like teaching them how to use it, or sending someone to work with them. That would be, like I said, I just feel like the meaningful collaborations as opposed to what I would consider influencers, and that could just be me, being an, I don't know.
Well, look, I mean, we got what we paid for, right? Like PewDiePie got it, and we got a bunch of memes. If other YouTubers get it, we'll get their audience. You know, like we just need to.
Yeah.
Let's get all the fine artists and stuff into
yeah.
Dreams. I mean, I love seeing when you get
yeah.
a new person. It's like they're new to Dreams. This is their first thing, and it's like, whoa, you clearly have a
You can
background
make
in
any music you
in
want.
art.
And then I
Um,
want the game player YouTubers because their audience plays games, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
Have you heard of Game Maker's Toolkit on YouTube?
Who hasn't heard of that here? I'm curious. That's what I
I
thought.
love
okay.
that
I've
channel.
heard of it,
If they could
I like
do
that channel. I like it a lot.
partnership with him, that would be
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh my
where
god.
He did like a video
What's
on
the other
Dreams,
one?
like how
Games from
to,
scratch as well.
yeah, all that
games
kind of
from scratch,
stuff.
He
I
does
think
news stuff.
partnerships with those guys would
Yeah.
just be
He
really
could have.
good.
He's like he's starting that game series. He could. It would have been interesting if he did it on Dreams, but his audience is kind of more towards. I don't want to say real game dev, PC game dev.
After he's
Yeah.
done with this game, he should try to make it in Dreams.
That'd be sick, actually.
Mhm.
That would be very. Or maybe like compare the workflow or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, then it's just turning into like an advert for Dreams, and that's not exactly what we want. I mean, it
It's
is but-
exactly what we want.
I know, but you know what I mean. Like, I want him to use it because he wants, because like there's a reason, not because he's basically being
being
sponsored.
paid to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a difference of being
What is
naturally
the
excited
reason?
for something other than being paid to be excited about something. So,
For
Yeah,
him
that's-
specifically, why would he use Dreams? Honestly, like him, that YouTuber, like why would he, like how does he benefit from that? Because his entire audience is like, I can't say real game devs, PC game devs.
I think
don't
if
know.
you're a PC game dev, it's still really good for rapid prototyping.
Yep, there you go.
You can just
You're
bang,
right. You're
you can
completely
use
right.
assets from the Dreamiverse, just like bash, 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 and then
Get your idea down.
you've
Yeah.
got get your idea down, and then you can go to the PC to make a sort
So
of
that's
more
how we
polished
sell it
version.
to them.
Yeah.
It's a rapid prototype. Yeah, it's good for rapid prototyping. That's what I use it for. I don't know why I didn't realize that in the moment, but yeah.
But with
So how
that,
are we gonna wrap this up?
well,
So who's gonna email him?
Captain Dax, he was saying, I don't think Dreams is an unknown quantity. There's nothing keeping player audiences from getting in now. So if they wanted to, they would. And to which I said what I actually went over earlier in this same episode, which is there are people who literally do not know. And I think what people like, one of the things that hampers the game is how much it's spoken of in the term of gaming. It's more than that. But it's not being looked at as marketing out to other things yet. Like it's just being talked about in the sense of gaming, not even fully as a creation suite, which is what I would call it. But yeah, it's people that know of Media Molecule, that know of Little Big Planet. There are people that know all that stuff and don't know Dreams exist.
That's crazy.
Like I said, I constantly bring up this friend I have who is a creative and literally had no idea it existed after playing every other game. So
that's an issue.
If that story is true, which it is, if that story is true, then I can't say with any real confidence that people know what Dreams is. I think there might be people who know of Dreams, but then it depends on what did they hear? Who did they hear it from? When did they hear it? Because if they heard some of the things that have been said out in the community, they just disregarded it. And so while they know of it, they still don't know Dreams. And so it's a whole thing. But like I said, I've been over that many times. I appreciate everybody coming through. Elka, I was not expecting you coming through. I was very happy to see you pop in. Last time we had you didn't do mic or didn't do camera, and so
Yeah,
gracing us.
Next time he'll be in
All the face
VR,
reveal.
and then the next time he'll just come to your house.
we will meet up in Dreams multiplayer.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Good one, Elka. Good one.
Maybe when
Multiplayer.
multiplayer comes out, we could host the show in Dreams.
Yes,
Ooh.
please.
That would be
When
something.
multiplayer comes out, I'll have 2 kids in high school. So I'll be a little busy. I don't know.
Well, we'll see what your diary's like, ASAP, when the time comes.
Oh boy.
Well,
Well, thank you everybody for coming. I really appreciate the turnout. It's been really cool.
Yeah, this was good.
About all this.
Thank you.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
More round tables.
And okay, I don't want to leave off while Captain Dax is replying to me. I don't want to ignore.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's mighty. All due respect, of course, there are people who don't know about Dreams, but I'm not sure that proves the point. I'm talking in aggregate. On average, people who want to play Dreams play Dreams, and to that, I would say, yeah, but at the same time, when it comes down to it, nobody exists on the well I would still say nobody, but nothing exists completely off of just who knew and wanted. It still relies on the main market. Like, you still have to rely on the people that don't even know they want to play what you've made. And when you get those people, that's when you have these explosions. That's why, as you know, going against the whole thing with Jimmy the other week was the idea of like a game doesn't necessarily live or die by its launch day anymore. And, you know, but a lot of people, you know, still act like they do, and that's not the case. But you're going to have cases where Among Us to be one, you know, where it's just like people didn't know they wanted Among Us, but it was out for 2.5 years before it got play. Like, people may want an influencer. People may
all the Twitch streamers picked it up. They chose the game, and that was They
Yeah.
didn't do anything.
So
They just got
people-
chose. They
Yeah.
got picked by the Twitch gods. The Twitch gods being the streamers.
So people may
It was-
not
it was
know.
that luck.
It's not necessarily about who wants to play Dreams, playing Dreams. It's about the people who don't know they want to play, create, make music, paint. It's about those people being able, like, knowing Dreams is what I would say. But
I'm telling you, once multiplayer comes out, there will be a ripple effect because like some
Absolutely.
people play it, they have fun. Other people see it, they want to have fun. Everyone will come in. We need the games to be there, but I'm telling you, it's gonna unless it's not done well. But it's probably
I don't
gonna
think
be-
they'd release it if it wasn't done well. It's
Yeah,
probably
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're not the type of people to
So,
release a half-baked product.
I'm nothing has changed my mind at this point that will make me believe otherwise. But we'll see, I guess.
I
This
just want
week.
to play with you all.
I know.
That's
I
all
want
want.
to freaking.
But Dex, I'd
Yeah.
like to
you
talk
guys
with
in
you more about it.
Art therapy.
We'll have to do
Oh, yeah,
another
we-
round table.
Yeah.
We'll have to do another.
do
Yeah.
it.
I mean, I'm up for doing them all the time.
More
It's
round
just
tables.
except for
Sweet.
when we have one-on-ones. Because I do, which speaking of, we have Fleximux next week. So that'll be fantastic. Can't wait. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming through. The stream tried to do some crazy stuff like 20 minutes ago, but we made it through without everything going ape. So I'll with everything else that's gone wrong, it's just beautiful to make it to the end here. So thank all of you for coming through. I appreciate it. Being graced with all of your presences. You all do amazing work.
Thanks for doing this.
No,
Thanks so much.
indeed.
Thanks.
And with that, we're out, ladies and gentlemen.
See you next
Peace.
week.
See ya.
My hands disappeared.
Bye.